only thing is, I've got no way of seeing if there's anyone joining unless I go into my other phone and I might see. Do you see anything else?
Yeah, at the top I can see. Oh, I can see the live chat. I can see how many people are in.
Oh yeah, I can see it as well.
At the moment, mate, it's just us, but it's only just notified me that we are live. So yeah,
That's cool, man. That's
can
cool.
you hear my dog barking?
Yeah, a little bit.
All right.
It's not annoying.
That's okay. He gets a bit annoyed and he probably barks for about 15 minutes in one go.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to grow my beard out again.
I noticed you've had a clean shave.
Well, I did, yeah, 2 days ago before we went out on Sunday.
Yeah, I need a shave, don't I? I need to.
Well, you're a bit of a scruffy git.
Yeah, rough and ready is what I prefer.
So, dude, there we go, a spontaneous live. So we thought we called the conversation that we normally have instead of not recording it. And then at the end of it, turn around and say, we should have recorded that.
Basically, yeah, we're always having these spontaneous conversations, and it's just nice to do it live. See who else wants to get involved in the chat. Whoever's about on a Tuesday at lunchtime.
Yeah, you never know. Someone might be desperate to be entertained.
Yeah. Or someone's here. Someone's here. I can see someone in the live.
Somebody's lurking in the background.
Yeah, say hello. Don't be shy, whoever you are.
Dude, how did you? I normally ask you what was your feedback on Sunday's podcast?
I really enjoyed it personally. For my own feedback, I thought it was a lot of fun. Yourself, Cobra, and Josh McDonald. It's always nice to have you guys on the show. And we just spoke about all the things that I wanted to talk about. Really, kind of like how we do if we weren't even on a live. That's kind of what I felt. It was very relaxed. It was an honest conversation, no hype, just stacking conversation amongst stackers of different levels of experience. Feedback wise, people seem to really enjoy it, and you know, that's the kind of lives that I really enjoy doing.
Yeah, man, you come up with some mad questions, some really good questions.
Yeah, I don't know where they come from. There's been times in the past where I will kind of pre-plan what I'm going to ask. On that one, I just whatever came up in my mind, I asked, and I tried to keep them as open as possible to allow people to give their own stance on it, rather than just like a yes or a no answer. Kind of give us your whole thinking.
Yeah, man, they were really cool questions. Really cool. That was Israeli Coin has joined.
Ah, yeah, I can see that now at the bottom. Yeah, hi Israeli.
Who said hello? So hi. Yeah, man, I enjoyed it as well. I thought it was funny. Was it Emerald? Was it Emerald that turned around and said I should do porn over? Oh no, it's Kalilo. Yeah.
Kalilo, he's coming on Sunday, and I've got to ask him a bit of a peculiar question from you now off the back of that, but he does deserve it.
He does really, yeah, man. He really does. So how's life, dude? All right.
Yeah, life's good. It's a Tuesday. I'm not working today, which is nice, and I believe you're not either.
No, it's really cool, man. Did you see that? I put that on the other day. What Benson sent me.
Yeah, I love it.
That is so cool, man.
It is
so cool. I know people say a lot about copper, but I mean, it just shows up so much flipping detail on copper, and I don't know the darker lettering and the darker pictures just seem to really stand out on copper more than anything. Do you think?
Yeah. If we put the value aside and all that whole conversation just solely looked at the metals from an aesthetical point of view, copper's right up there, mate. And that specific design created by Benson, who is very creative, I love it. And it's I like that he sent that to you as you know, I don't know what you would call it. A sentimental gift for a friend that's sadly no longer with us, who was very close to you. And I know you've got a few bits and bobs for with
Yeah,
God's Money, Stephen. Yeah, I've got that poker chip now as well. I love that.
it is really cool, man. Really cool. And obviously, I've got the silver piece that Louis did, courtesy of Zeus winning something and then giving it away, which is really cool. And Benson reached out to me and just said, do you like this? I think you should have it, you know? And
Good old Benson.
yeah, man. Have you seen his latest videos, his latest shorts?
Yeah, he's basically gone and showed every single possible sovereign bullion coin around the world, and then it's like a transition to Apex. It's really cool.
It's, I, what amazes me is, I know we all knock AI and whatever, but for someone with a creative mind, which obviously Benson's got tons of it, to see what can be done, or it's like the thumbnail you very quickly put together for this. To see what can be done, it just blows my mind. It really does. For anyone's creative out there, yeah, I think it's great. There's other conversations we could have about AI, but
It's amazing what you can do. I will just ask, as my neighbours started mowing the lawn. Can you still hear me clearly?
yeah, I can hear you, dude.
I think this has got noise cancellation, but yeah, the stuff you can do with AI is crazy, and I do particularly like the thumbnail. I will quickly say hello to Catcom, who's dropped a comment. Good to see you, mate. Thanks for joining. But yeah, I love playing around with AI. As soon as we spoke about doing a sort of like a pop-up live, I was like, oh, Andy, let me make a quick little silly thumbnail. I didn't even know if it was going to be something we could use, but it turned out pretty good, to be fair.
Yeah, man, it's nuts, and I love the fact that you had the conversation with AI and told it how you want it to be.
I did. For anyone listening and for yourself, if you've ever tried to use AI to create something and you send it some photos to use as a reference, maybe for yourself, like I do, it always changed how I look or changed my expression, and it became almost just not me. So I decided to write a paragraph to AI explaining my dissatisfaction for some of the image it was creating, and told it, look, stop making me these terrible images. And ever since, it's not let me down once. So maybe you just need to tell AI off.
Yeah, it. Yeah, I think more. I haven't interacted with AI for a while now. I should do. I mean, it definitely helped me with setting up my new OBS system, which is really cool. It, yeah, it blows my mind. I think from a creativity, although it can, I don't know about yourself, it can end up wanting to please you too much.
Yeah, what I find fascinating is it remembers everything. So every prompt you've ever given it, every image, every bit of information, it also actively researches the web and your YouTube channel as it gets to know you. And you almost build a relationship with AI, and it's like your personal creator secretary. It's insane, and yeah, well, it might not last forever, but I basically told AI off, and ever since it's been doing a good job. So yeah, and I know you've used AI a lot in the past to look at certain things, evaluate things, and get information. It's very useful, and it's getting better very quickly as well.
It is at a tremendous rate as well. And as you said, I found it so cool to have almost like your own personal assistant. And I'm really interested to see where these AI agents go and how that's going to get used more and more in future. That would be really interesting to see where that goes. I'm often think to myself, how will AI be used to interact with the precious metals market? For all I know, maybe AI is used quite a bit for design. It probably is in a way to put things, people's ideas together, which obviously we can see with obviously what Benson does. But I'm wondering at what point it might be used where, I don't know, the Royal Mint are going to go, okay, we're stuck. What can we bring out next? Oh, let's ask ChatGPT.
It wouldn't surprise me if that's already in place. To be fair, I'm not doubting any of the designers for the new coin designs from any of the mints, but it would shock me if they don't use a bit of AI integration to get inspiration for those designs. I will say, talking about designs and the Royal Mint, I have to say the most recent St. George and the Dragon 1 ounce coin is absolutely beautiful. I don't know if you've seen it. The 2026 one, Andy. It's stunning. I may have to pick up one to add to my collection.
Wonder what it looks like.
But yeah, if you have a spare device or any way of checking the 2026 St. George and the Dragon 1 ounce from the Royal Mint, I think is the best one yet. Obviously an iconic.
Is it literally just come out?
I don't know if it's just come out. It's probably been out for a few weeks, but it's a beautiful coin, and I'm going to have to get one. Obviously, same benefits as your Britannias, with it being capital gains tax exempt, but it's just a beautiful design. You pay a bit of a premium for it, but as a one-off, I think that's a nice little addition. Especially when, at the moment, we're not paying £100, we're paying £60 or so for a nice brand new bullion coin.
Sorry, excuse this very old brain typing.
It's okay.
So 2026 is it?
Yeah. And what I find lovely is it still uses that beautiful St. George and the Dragon design that we used to have on our own coinage. This is over 130 years old, but there it was, St. George and the Dragon on a crown. And it's to this day, I still think it's one of the most beautiful designs you can get.
That's interesting. It's not brought it up.
Maybe check it out after me. I'll send you a link after this live.
Is it actually in their shop?
Yeah, well, I saw it on Shards, and you could pre-order it.
Shit, I skipped that.
But they are available online at other people. Like you can get them on, you can get them online. But I think, say, if the Royal Mint release something, there's normally a couple of weeks before you can get it at Shards for a little bit cheaper.
Is it the same as that one? That's the gold version.
That's it. But yeah, the silver variant of that, it's about £60. I think it's the best one yet. I love the edges to it, the outside.
Got it. Yeah. Oh, oh yeah, I see. Yeah.
I mean, what do you think? Personally, I don't normally look at all the new designs anymore. Yeah, but I do think if I'm going to pick up one, and it's obviously got the same benefits as the Britannia, just for my personal collection, I think it's lovely.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. How long have they been doing the Jewel and Dragon for? A couple of years.
I might stand corrected here. Obviously, George and the Dragon as a design has been used for years, but the actual official range, I think, has been going since 2021, where we had the Silver Valiant, which was a version of it, and they've been making one every single year. And I really like them. It's probably because it's only been a few years. It's probably something I'd like to get one of every year from the start, to be fair, and collect them. They're really nice, and they're not like premium coins, so you're not paying ridiculous prices to get them either. You'd pay more for the kookaburras, but these are just the things that we enjoy, I suppose.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? I think I was watching, not watching, I was taking part in your podcast. And quite often the nicest thing about being on your podcast with other people is because like you're sitting there listening, and when you're listening to other people talking about what they're doing, what they're not doing, what they collect, what they don't collect, I often sit there and it just makes me start to think about really what I will really want to do going forward, or what I really want to keep collecting or not collect. And I think because the prices have come down now and kind of making it a little bit more affordable, then my mind is starting to think again about, okay, maybe I could just pick up a little bit more and get back into it. But there's just so much variety, and I quite often can get very, very carried away like I did before. I don't think that's a good idea, really, to be fair.
Yeah, it makes sense, and it can be very easy to do with all the options out there. We know that sometimes there's so many temptations, so many new releases. I think what's different now when we talk about the price coming down. Initially, Andy, when the spot price of silver did crash, the premiums associated with a 1 ounce, say silver, for example, did not follow suit initially because all these mints and dealers had paid the higher price to get their stock in, so they weren't willing to follow the spot price back down straight away. And also demand played a factor in that. People were still actively selling everywhere out. Now it's started to settle down a little bit more, and we are seeing premiums lowered to a more reasonable amount. Of course, if you're in the US, then you are not going to see it the same way as us in the UK. We have our tax on stuff, and we also have a dealer premium. So if spot's at £45, we are probably going to be ending up paying, including postage, somewhere around 60 approximately, roughly, for a 1 ounce silver. But there's so many options. It is nice to have some variety. And do you know what? I see in your series you've picked up 1 or 2 now in your 10 ounce challenge, Andy. And I don't know about you, but there's something really nice about the half ounces. I don't go out of my way to stack them, but occasionally when they come about, I've got myself a nice little half ounce here and there. This is a great white shark. I got this on Whatnot months ago, Australia. But it's nice to have variety. And I think when that desperation to chase the weight at all costs is gone and you're actually just comfortable adding as and when and waiting for those deals to come along, it's quite nice. That's when variety can come in a healthy way.
Yeah, and hopefully Nerd's joined. Hi, Nerd. Thanks for popping in, dude.
Hey, Nerd.
I'm hoping that in the half ounce, well, I've always hoped that maybe bring out some different designs in the fractional stuff going forward, just so people that are looking on a low budget to be able to sort of really diversify and enjoy the fruits of what we're all spoiled at buying at 1 ounce and above. Really, that'd be cool, man. That'd be cool if that happens. But I know it's all about spot and business and driving profit and cost and everything. But
it is. Do you think right now that the 1 ounce for silver is still the norm, the go-to? There was a point when we were paying over £100, or if people that were maybe paying over £100 for an ounce of silver, and that obviously changed things. But do you think right now, with where we're at, a 1 ounce is still the go-to, the norm for people to stack? Or
it's a very good question, that, because since doing this stacking challenge, it's really made me think really hard about the cost of living of what we're all going through, and it's really made me sit there and think from a different perspective, because it's forcing me to think on a low budget, which is what I hadn't done before in my stacking collecting journey, and that coinciding with bloody the cost of everything is ridiculous. I don't know. I can't believe, if everyone else's personal circumstances haven't changed over the last 3 or 4 or 5 years, I can't believe everybody isn't experiencing. I've lost you. Have you gone? I've lost him. Where's he gone? I'm going to talk to myself now. No, he's back.
sorry.
Did you go?
Basically, it gave me the option to share the live on my channel just to give it a bit more reach. So I've just done that.
Right.
But initially, it wasn't taking me off this. I could still hear you, and then when I posted it, it disconnected me. So I'm really sorry about that. I just thought I would share the live on my channel, mate. So I've just done that.
Right. No, that's cool, man. I was thinking, oh my god, technical issues.
No. I just thought I'd share it on there so people knew that we were live.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know what I was bloody saying now.
I'm so sorry, mate.
I was going on about the cost of living, wasn't I? Yeah, I'm sure all of us, unless people are in a job where they are getting, I don't know, their pay packets have gone up 20%, 30% in the last 3 or 4 years, then I'm sure we're all witnessing that amazing, outrageous cost of what it is just to do the standard stuff today. And I personally believe, I don't know whether that's a thing in the community where people are a little bit sort of standoffish and stand back a little bit and think, oh, I can't really say that. I can't afford the 1 ounce anymore. So they have a tendency not to post. Who's that? The last Dork Rocker.
That's a cool name.
That's a cool name. I don't know what it means, but it's a cool name.
Yeah. I think long story short there, wages have not kept up with inflation. Everything's got more expensive. We have to pay more fiat to get the same things, even from 5 years ago, a lot more. And because wages have kept up with that, but well, they haven't kept up with that anywhere near as much as they should have. Everything's so much more difficult. So say if the average person earns £2,000 a month or whatever in the UK, that £2,000 a month gets stretched a lot more now than what it did before. And it's difficult.
It's
Hey,
tough,
Jax.
man. Hey, Jax. Jax is here with Tree. Yeah, man. And of course that's really made me think differently. I've noticed it more because, as most people will probably know, is silver and gold is not the only thing I invest in. So the money that I've got has to be, distributed, and I haven't got as much as what I can't get as much as what I used to anymore. And so we're all prone to it, absolutely prone to it. So getting back to your question about the 1 ounce, yeah, it's a tough one, man. It is a tough one. When I had the privilege, and we all know this is boring bollocks now. I had that privilege of being able to go a little bit crazy, on £18 an ounce. But going forward, what, 3 years now, 4 years, maybe a little bit longer than that. Even at £40, £50 to try and do what I was doing or have done with Bitcoin, my stocks and shares, Pokemon now, all the bits and pieces I'm doing, I wouldn't be able to probably get 30% of what I achieved only 4 years ago. And that's nuts, man. That is absolutely nuts.
Times have changed, but the concept of building a stack with a small budget is being proven by you with your series of stacking, fractional and other items on a smaller budget and building weight. It is achievable. I think it's quite inspirational as well, mate, for you doing that, to prove the concept to people that are either just starting and don't know what to do or don't have a big budget, or for those that have had a realization that they can't actually afford as much as they'd like and they need to kind of figure out their plan. And it is still possible. You look around at big stacks, 10-ounce bars, kilo bars, just hundreds of 1 ounce coins on a table. And for most people, including me, I throw myself into that bracket just to be transparent. It's not it's not reality. And all these big stacks, they started in the same place. They started with 1 or 2 coins and they slowly built. You can't compare your now to someone 20 years down the line. You're losing a battle there. You're never going to win. But I really like what you're doing because it proves the concept of slow and steady does win the race for someone individually and what they want to achieve.
Yeah, for sure, man. It may not be the most cost efficient way of doing it, but if you look at it with a totally different pair of glasses on and look at it as, okay, I can still do it on a low budget. There is the facility there. I can still start to grasp the angle of I can build a base, a foundation. I mean, you did a great video on foundation with the house thing. And then hopefully, as I was saying the other day, the next stage of the challenge will continue, and then we just learn from those lessons, and then we try if we can, if the environment allows us to do it, try to be a little bit more efficient, and then build more onto that. But if you haven't got that foundation, then you're forever like, nah, can't afford it, nah, can't do it, nah, can't get into this, nah.
Well, this is the point.
Spend 30 quid.
Yeah, you're right. You're so right. This is the point, though, is that And it's funny, really, if someone like you who's been doing this for a while, and you know what you're doing, you're still choosing to do something really to prove a concept and to support people who need to see that. It's a bigger picture there. And yes, goes without saying, it is not the most cost efficient, practical way to stack, but it is a way to stack. It's a way to build weight when you are on a lower budget specifically. It's to prove to people that it's not impossible. A lot of people make how to stack from scratch and different guides and different opinions, but doesn't mean any of them are correct or any of them are the right way. Everyone stacks different and has its own imperfections. The truth of the matter is, every stack starts somewhere and it builds and builds and builds. The right way to one person might not be the right way for everyone. And the people making those videos are also in very different positions. So when people say stuff like, oh, I would never buy fractional silver, you're paying a 30-40% premium. I'm like, well, okay, that makes sense to you, but to someone who hasn't even got an ounce to their name and they can't afford an ounce in one go, and they're just starting out, then to me it makes sense just to own those first few coins, to understand it, to build some weight, and over time things change. And it's important that people don't get put off by the complex angles people come in from, because silver stacking isn't really that complicated. It's quite simple.
It's not rocket science, dude.
It's not rocket science, mate.
Remember the video I did? You earn your fiat, you buy your silver. You earn your fiat, you buy your silver. You
I
earn your
do.
fiat, you buy your silver. And that's all it is, like everything else in life. You know, you earn your fiat, you buy your food. You earn your fiat, you pay for your car. You earn your fiat, you pay your mortgage. You earn your fiat, you pay your rent. You earn your fiat, you pay your silver. You know, it's no different. It's not frigging rocket science. Why we make everything so rocket science is beyond me. But it isn't beyond me because I get why people may make it rocket science because they've got something, there's some science to sell people. You know, so I get why people can make it a little bit rocket sciencey, but yeah, it's interesting. See, Hovis is still barking.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I didn't realize he was going to be so annoyed outside when I set this up. There might be in a minute. If it's really loud, I'll mute myself and go and set up inside where he won't do that. It's because he's outside loose and there's noises and he
That's
doesn't
right.
like noises.
It's natural, dude. These are natural videos. I love natural videos. Life isn't in a studio. Life,
Spontaneous bench talk.
it is, man. I, I love it. I, the other thing I really do enjoy, I see the importance of doing things, you know, kind of properly, and it's creative in its core, and it's great. But I also see the importance of we're all just normal people living normal lives, so it's really cool to show it. You know, dogs bark, cats scratch, kids come along and make noises.
Yeah, people have to pay taxes.
Yeah, traffic goes along the road, and oh, your missus has joined.
Oh, there we go. This explains why I'm not getting a response on message by Craven.
Oh dear. Uh-oh.
Andy, you're getting me in trouble.
Oh dear, it's my fault, Mrs. Craven.
I'm going to move myself inside and basically, yeah, give Hovis some love and attention inside.
Oh, if you want to go, mate, that's fine.
No, mate, I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm just going to reposition myself.
Oh, your missus says you're not in trouble.
There we go. I'll take that. I'm not in trouble.
I think you should get a bollocking live.
Oh, well, I mean...
Like on one of your videos, she told you to piss off. I thought that was so funny. Piss off. My wife found that really funny as well. So yeah, it's interesting, and hopefully that's. I know it's not for everybody. But it's something I'm really enjoying doing. I know a few people are doing something very similar, which is really cool. But it's just another angle, and I'm really looking forward to the next stage, the next concept of it, to see how we can improve. You know, and I don't know what that looks like. Just like I didn't know what this looked like when I first started that series. You know, I had no idea that I would be like the best part of 200 quid in cash as well, which a lot of people are overlooking. maybe, I don't know. You've got like an emergent. People say, "Oh, I ain't got enough emergency fund." Well, on a £30 budget, I've managed to practically this week, hopefully, if it comes, get 7 ounces of silver with a £200 like cash reserve.
There's a lot worse you could do than that, brother. There's, you've done what you've done, and you've also you've not rushed to spend more. You've built up the extra budget, and I look forward to seeing what you're going to do with it. And obviously, there'll be a time and a place for you to show this through your content. But I'm going to ask a leading question here, Andy. What happens when you achieve that 10 ounces? Because that's coming around the corner soon, buddy. What happens then?
Okay, I don't know exactly. Obviously, I've started to think about it a bit because it's 21 weeks has gone really quick, man. It's ridiculous. So it might take me another, I don't know, 3, 6, 9, probably another 3 months maybe to get there, roughly. Sunglasses inside. You got told off.
Yeah, to be fair, I was getting sunburnt outside, I'm not gonna lie, so it was worth having them on outside, but then I didn't think, I just sat down inside. I quite like wearing the sunglasses, but yeah, she's told me now, so they've come off.
Um, I have been doing a journal, which no one's seen, obviously, all the way through this journey so far. So at the end of each ounce goal, I just put my thoughts of how I felt, and so I'll probably release that into the once we hit the goal of ounces. Probably release that so people can see my real thoughts behind it. The ups and downs. You know, of it all. I won't say too much about it. So that'd be cool. But then the next one, it'll be next 10 ounces, probably. What do I do with it? Do I increase the budget? Do I decrease the budget? That's going to be in a very, very much an environmental thing to what's going on in our lives. Can I increase it, or will I be forced to decrease it? And then, how probably the challenge for me will be how do I now become more efficient and learn from what I did with building that foundation? How do I become more efficient, and what can I do with that efficiency? More than anything, that's something I'm really gonna look forward to pushing myself to make it make sense, and at the same time carry on the goal.
Yeah, I will say I look forward to seeing, I guess, the behind the scenes raw reactions, thoughts, and overviews at each chapter of this journey that we've seen in terms of progression and what you've bought and what your thinking is. But I'd like to see sort of the journal side and in one go as well, because during the series that you've been doing, stacking the fractional and 0 to 2 ounces, which I love. The market has played into your hands a little bit, which you wouldn't have been able to predict when you started, and that's great, by the way. So it'll be interesting to see your thoughts on that and what's gone in Andy's mind, what's gone on in Andy's mind as we've seen that change dramatically.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, one of the biggest things is what I try and express is my emotionally what I'm doing it, because it's reality. Showing the emotion and the ups and downs. I won't go into it in too much detail because it give away, but the ups and downs of it all, and how like you keep yourself motivated, and can I keep myself motivated? And did I ever want to pack up? Did I ever see it as, oh my God, this is a waste of time? Why am I doing it? You're an idiot. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? So which is probably something that majority of us will do whatever we're doing. Whether you're, I don't know, saving up for something, whether you're losing weight, whether you're trying to get fit, whether you're trying to learn something new. It's all the emotions that go with it, and I think that's a really cool thing to show.
It is. I'd like to ask you the question from the last dot rocker who's just put in the chat, Andy. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this one. Why do you think there are more male stackers than female stackers?
Yeah, that's been a
Good
that's a
question.
great. That is a really good question. I think when it comes to money, it's very egotistical. So you do get that male ego bit come out quite a bit. And I think within the male side, we like to, oh, look what I've got, look what I'm doing, look at this, look at that. I think it's a natural thing. I'm just bad, Jesus. Um, you would not believe how many. I mean, I don't show my stuff anymore, really. But I just when I do look at it and I think, oh God, I really want to do a video on that, and it's just ego, man. It's just ego, unless it's something constructive to put together in a video. Really, to be fair, but so I think possibly a lot of females wouldn't see it that way. Maybe I'm not saying all. So predominantly, you've got more men. Um, I personally believe there are quite a few female. I know personally, quite a few female people that do it. But I don't know. I think Love Island is probably more important to them with the time and energy, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
And
I
it's probably
think
not a bad thing, to be honest.
no. I think my observation is there are definitely more male stackers than female stackers in the space for the reasons you mentioned, the egotistical side. But also, my observation is also that we also see the creators and associate that with who the stackers are. And I think for one reason or another, the female stackers in this space, and there are plenty of them, there's less of them that choose to make content. So we don't see them as much. And that could be down to a number of reasons. I've always said, and I've seen you say this in the past, Andy, when I do my podcasts and stuff, I would be honored if a female stacker wanted to take to the stage, share their journey, and be part of that conversation because it doesn't matter whether someone is a male or a female. But yeah, it does appear that there are there are more males than females in this space. But I'd love to see the thoughts of more women in this space on stacking. It might have a different perspective. I don't know. A different dynamic.
Yeah, I think it would. I just want to say hi to Emerald Coast Stacker, who's just dropped in, which is really cool.
Emerald.
Um, it's interesting because I believe we will probably get a more balanced view on stacking if females would. I really do. Sorry about that. I really do think that we get a really different perspective and probably more balanced and probably more grounded as a rule. Um, and hopefully, I've been working quite hard to introduce a female stacker, but that person will come when they're ready, and when I'm well allowed, hopefully. So I'm really looking forward to that a lot. You have to excuse me, there's a lorry going by. They're building a bridge down by the river and they're using this private road next to us to take the concrete mixers and whatever. So yeah, it's a bit noisy.
It's okay, mate. What's
No,
Jetstack saying?
Jackson, Andy, did you know that with that £200 you'd have in your pot, you could get 130 packets of Jaffa cakes at their current retail price? Jesus Christ! Now I've lost a bit, just over a stone in weight, which is really cool. So I think that would just put on a stone and a half in weight if I did that.
I like what Emerald's put as well. He's put MFR. I'm guessing that stands for male female ratio, 98-1.
Yeah, 98-1.
I
Get that.
don't know where the figures have come from, but I just assume that's what MFR stands for.
Now, what about the odd one? We're missing one.
Yeah.
Mind you, in this day and age, then maybe there's that odd one that isn't male or female. I don't know.
Yeah, that's it. Everyone will be who they want to be. I don't have a comment or an opinion on that one.
No, I have lots of opinions, dude.
I
Tons of
plead
them.
the fifth.
Yeah, don't blame you. So yeah, it's interesting. I'm hoping that get a few more female voices. I know when I was in Stack Social, I think that there was a few that started to sort of talk a little bit more and have their own little groups, bits and pieces. But well, I don't know how that's going on because I'm not in there anymore. But
Well, neither am I, mate.
yeah, I know you're not. So maybe that will happen in Apex. I don't know. I haven't seen it, but yeah, there's a thought maybe. I'm talking of Apex. Jokers Wild just dropped in as well.
Hey, Jokers.
Where has this live come from? It's coming from my garden and Craven. The reason why I started is like I hopped on Apex voice channel, had a quick conversation with X20. I'm very jealous for what where X20 is at the moment, but that's for him to say, not me. And Craven dropped in, and then X20 had to go, and then Craven said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, I ain't doing a lot." I was Craven, and I said, "Should we do a live?" So we just done a very ad hoc, put together live Jokers. So that's where it's
That's right. So often, and look, the guys in the chat, a lot of you are often part of these conversations on the Discord group, such as Apex. We have really great conversations, and sometimes me and Andy sit there saying, that last hour or two that just flew by, that would make a great podcast, a conversation that could be recorded, that people could listen to, be part of. And yeah, I just said to Andy, before we carry on speaking today, because we have a bit of time off, I was like, the next hour or so, we could talk about anything. Let's just go live and do the same thing we're going to do anyway.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. And continuing that demographic thing, cohort, whatever you want to call it, what do you reckon is the average age of people that you observe are into stacking?
That's a really good question, and I'm just getting my dog a treat, but I will answer that. So I think predominantly on the demographic side, my observation, I could be completely wrong. I think there's a lot of people that are more experienced in this space than there are youthful, and that's just through who I've come to meet. I'm 30 this year, and I feel relatively quite young on the younger side of things in this space, and that observation comes from being part of multiple communities. When I was in Stacker Social, Apex, the YouTube scene, the majority of people are older than me, and I also think, though, because of YouTube, social media, and the interest in precious metals and the ever worsening economy and situation that we are in, more people are looking at ways to improve their financial situation. So I think there is more of an influx of young people now than ever before. But as things stand, I do think there's a lot more people that have been doing this for a long time than there are new starters. So overall, there's probably more people in their 40s and 50s than there are below that right now. But that could change as time goes on. I hope it does. And I hope through my journey and what I'm sharing, it would make me feel really happy if more people do start stacking, and people who are younger, because time is your greatest asset. And we talk about the right way to stack and best value and all this stuff. But in reality, from what I've seen and through historical data, Andy,
Lost me. He's gone. What's he doing? I have no idea. You are. I can hear you, but I can't see you. No, mate. I can hear you loud and clear. I don't know. Mate, the screen's gone blank. Is an interlude. That's why Craven thought that is. I'd sing a song.
am I back?
Now we're back. So
I keep getting spam calls.
I was doing a musical interlude, which was really shit, but
Oh, nice. That
Um,
Craven, that's a great passport photo. Thanks, mate.
uh, hey, like the last Dork Rock I said, it would love if Apex used its VC more, which is obviously voice chat. And yeah, I think it's in there. I used to love it when I was in Stacker Social. I had my own little section of Stacker Social, and I really, really enjoyed doing voice chat. But a lot of people don't seem to want to do that. I don't know why, but it's up to them. But it's there. People can use it. Don't have to be anyone else. One of the biggest things is that if you actually go in there and just sit in there, I mean, I've sat in there for ages, and someone eventually comes along. But
To check if you're okay.
yeah, yeah. But I just stick it on personally. I stick it on while I'm doing something else, and then someone joins the conversation. Great. So yeah, just because someone's in there, it doesn't mean to say, maybe lots of people are just waiting to see if someone drops in, and then they join type thing, like we did today. So yeah, use it, man. Use it. It's good to talk.
That's what community's there for, mate. And I always say I love it when it could be someone like yourself or me, or there's plenty of other people. We talk about Jokers, Benson, Jack Stacks. There's loads of people I could name who just simply jump in a voice channel call, like in Apex, for example, um, and people start to join. And very quickly, you have 8, 10 people just having a chat, and it's really, really nice. And I love to see it, I do. But it always starts with one person joining, and yeah, I do love those conversations. Very similar to what we're doing now. We're just having a chat randomly, spontaneously. That's it. Not planned, not scripted. Just talking. Two stackers, two friends.
Until the battery runs out, which is pretty cool at the moment. Um, Following on from the male female, so I noticed Emerald said 40s. I don't know whether he thinks like that's an average, which sort of makes sense. You would you say like it was a bit younger from your observations, more around your age, but not too many in their 20s maybe?
What as an average?
Hmm.
Oh, it's a tough question. The majority, I believe, are over 40. I think there are less under 40 than there are over 40, to put it very literally. That's just a prediction, my personal observation. Um, but then again, what are we judging this off? We're judging this off the communities that we're in, which is a few thousand. We're judging it off the YouTube channels we see. It's not a true sample size to really know, because there'll be so many stackers and people who collect coins and precious metals who are not in communities, who aren't on YouTube, who just do it and go about their life and aren't involved in any of this. So who knows, what the ages of those people. But from what we do see, there appears to be more males, and there appears to be more people over the age of 40 who've been doing this longer.
So my next thing from that, and I pick up on what you said a little while ago, is why? Why do you think? Why do you think people get into stacking? I know it's a real general thing, but try not to base it too much on yourself, although that's really difficult to do. Just on your observation of what you listen to, because you do plenty of podcasts, you do plenty of talking, you do plenty of listening. What's the general feeling? You mentioned that possibly well, you didn't say possibly, you said that people want to improve their future. What does that actually mean? And is it a reality? Ooh, ooh, deep questions.
It's a deep question. I will try my best, Andy, and knowing you, you'll give me a 4 out of 10 for my answer, but I will still try. I think both sides of things. I'll use Jack Stacks as an example because he's here supporting as he always is. He says if there was a poll for this question, is there an old fart category? And that's where I'll start. That's funny. Not everyone's looking at it to improve their future. People who are older in this world have seen the way the economy's gone, are also thinking, crikey, this is not good. I want to leave something to give my children, my family, the best possible opportunity. And right now, a lot of people recognize silver and gold, um, as a lot more of a stable thing to leave than cash in the bank to people. It's more helpful. It's going to give them a better chance, whatever they wish to do with it, sell it, whatever. It's a better savings account to most people. We talk about storage of wealth, all those things that, you know, we try to avoid saying the same old, but that is the general reasons. Josh McDonald, who was on my podcast on Sunday with you, mate, articulated this really well. I'm not necessarily looking at this 100% as an investment as to why I stack. I know you've asked me to not focus it on my reasons, but I am, just to give a context of where other people might be looking at it. I think to a lot of people, this is a savings account, and the more people that are switched on to this, when they actually get doing this, will realize for themselves why it is a good savings account, regardless what the market does. Because how many people in this space, if they truly, honestly looked at themselves and reflected, said, I can put £50, £100, whatever your budget is that you spend on metals, away in the bank, whatever savings account interest you're getting, which is terrible, by the way, when you factor in inflation, it's going downwards, however you look at it. And not either blow it because they go and want to buy something, or they just don't save it. So for me, rather than getting all technical, mate, I think there's a lot of people that get into this. Some people will get in because of the hype or whatever. They see it, it's spoken about. Then they start doing it and realize, actually, in a few months, I've built maybe 10 ounces of silver. I've not spent it because it's just there. I can physically feel something here. I know it's worth something. And it's very easy to liquidate. And I'm going to keep doing this, and it grows. You don't get that with savings in the bank unless you are exceptional at saving, which I'm not. And let's be honest, this comes also from a place of fear of what's to come with the economy, moving to digital, everything being controlled, not having anything outside of the system. And it comes from a place of distrust with an economy that is beyond recovery, in my opinion. I say that at 29 years old. People have been around and seen the economy fall for longer, but I really think it is beyond recovery. I don't trust fiat. I don't trust a lot of things. I do trust precious metals, which are proven for thousands of years. And the more I learn about it, the more I want to own them. I feel better about them. Even if they crash after I buy it, I feel better about holding them than having cash in the bank. So it's a number of things, Andy, but I'm going to fire it back at you. Rather than telling me what you think of my answer, why don't you tell me what your answer would be to your same question?
I think this is my podcast, isn't
it? Is that what I said to you once when I did that?
Probably.
This is not a podcast. This is a bench talk.
That's true. That's very true.
We're sat on a bench together.
I don't know, mate. I think because of what's happened potentially, or seems to perceive to happen with the global financial economy over this probably last 2 or 3 years, probably 5 years since COVID. But it's just accelerated more, or it seems to have accelerated more over the last couple of years. I think that my view on it has really changed. I would probably marry that narrative to a degree more that it was the words I hate, the hedge against inflation.
I tried not to use it. I don't think I did, because I know.
I wanted you to say it. So I'm thinking, yeah, I'm
No.
going to put them up on that one as well.
I didn't.
The security, a lot of people go about the 5,000 years of history and what it stands for and all that. I could get that more possibly 5 years ago. Today, I have, and it isn't because I don't believe in what I'm doing personally. I have more of a wider thought process of thinking, is it, bunging that, is it really, is it going to be, will it? I know there's stupid answers that no one's got, but I think that enters my strategy of what I'm trying to achieve more in a thought process today than what I did 5 years ago. And that can only be because the environment's changing so much or that's the way I perceive it to be.
Yeah, and it begs the question, Andy, is we can talk about the why we do it, and we can do that. And like Emerald Coast has just asked, he says, the concern I have is when the digital system is implemented, how the precious metals exchange will function in the long term. Now, that's really important because I can say to Andy, I think this is the reason why most people do it. But then that can all make sense. But then when it comes to the other end of it, liquidating, using it as a tool for something else, is it regardless whether it's done better than money in the bank and all that, is it going to be what we hoped it would? And that's where you have to really put your fortune, your future hat on and think, right, things can change. I don't know on that, mate. What are your thoughts on that?
I just want to say hello to Average Geo, who joins from America. He often pops in when I'm live during the day, which is really cool. I haven't spoken to him for ages. So, hi, dude. Hope you're well. Hope the staff's going well. Hope your investments are going well. I know you're heavily into a quite diversified portfolio. So, nice to see you, dude. I think Emerald Coast Hacker has that is a amazing response because Alex, when he has joined us,
Hey, mate.
probably on his latest cocktail, I don't know. We'll get this.
He's had 3 since we spoke.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm surprised he can even operate his phone. Yeah, I mean, it is. The concern I have is when the digital system is implemented, it's going to be, whether we like it or not, is how the precious metals exchange will function in the long term. That is massive, man. It's massive because the 5,000 year thing, from my point of view, is we didn't have a digital system. It wasn't.
It was all physical, which works if you're stacking something physical.
Yeah, it kind of is there because our currency system, I'm half gone. I'll be fully it's kind of, the digital system's kind of there, but not at the rapid growth rate of what is happening in the background. And that changes everything. It changes everything because it's new and none of us know what that looks like. So that's why I have that hesitancy in the back of my mind. Will, if I need to, when I need to, and I have experienced how to sell my stuff, and get back into currency fairly easily. What does that look like? And none of us bloody know. So trusting something that's been around for thousands of years is wicked. It's cool and it's got some great core fundamentals in it. But what does it look like in a digital future? What does it look like? And is it going to be the same or what we think was the same when it happens?
Not necessarily, and this is where the fear comes in because this brings in a conversation about governments, and if you're in the UK, it brings in a conversation about tax. We talk about keeping logs of our invoices and where we bought stuff from, so that when we come to sell, if tax is a part of that conversation at that point, we can prove where we bought it. It's all legit. Now, if we move to a digital system, that becomes very relevant because they're in complete control of that. There's no cash exchange anymore. You have to then be paid digitally, which the government controls. So you then have to justify and have evidence for every transaction, in my opinion. That's how I visualize that. I could be wrong. Share your thoughts in the comments. But if they see all of a sudden that you are having all these digital currency transactions coming in, they want to know why. Oh, I sold my silver. Oh, okay. You need to pay tax on that. No. It was all Britannia's. They're capital gains tax exempt. That's great. Can you prove where you bought them from? Can you prove that they were actually that? I bought them 10 years ago, mate. I lost it. Well, we're going to charge you tax on that. Look, this is all extremist stuff, but at the same time, it's not, because if we do move to this, my biggest fear is the level of control that is handed over, where people enjoy cash because it is a sense of freedom. Yes, it's just a piece of paper. It is what it is, and we prefer the metals for that reason. But when it's no longer cash, scary.
Yeah, man. And I think it's very naive. It's just my opinion, not to think about these things. And you know, as average Joe says, you know, everything could go to zero. There's no guarantee of anything. Absolutely no guarantee of anything. We just, I don't know. I think it's very naive to ignore that potentially our world, which is changing quickly, will I see it at those levels at my age? Maybe. I hope so, because it interests me. But I think for a lot of youngsters, yeah, I think it's very naive not to think about things, not get too up on, it's been this for 5,000 years. Oh, yeah, it has.
It's a hedge against inflation, Andy. Come on.
It has. It has. But come on, man. Come on. There's a bigger picture here. Yeah, well, none of us are privy to see it. But we can experience it just by opening up our minds and being a little bit more observant of our surroundings and what's going on.
Do you know a question that I regularly ask myself, Andy, is we talk about reasons why we see silver going up in price, and we talk about the deficit in supply and demand for over 6 years now consistently, and that demand is going through the roof commercially because of advancements in technology. Now, once that silver becomes so expensive that the commercial companies are thinking this is as good as this metal is, we need an alternative. Well, times are changing quickly, folks, and with AI, advanced technology, and some really smart people, what if they find something so much cheaper that could replace silver and be used commercially? And all of a sudden, this conversation changes dramatically. What is the likelihood that there becomes a cheap, accessible alternative in abundance that can replace silver and perform just as well when we talk about solar panels, technology, batteries, all that stuff? And then where does that leave silver? Is that a possibility? Absolutely. It hasn't happened yet, doesn't mean it won't happen. What are your thoughts on that, mate, when we look ahead at what could go wrong?
Well, this is the extreme probability, isn't it, of the world that we now live in. We're not living, or there's a percentage of probability that if we was to ask a neutral, non-human intelligence, what's the best way forward here, and that becomes more and more the norm, then we may be surprised that it's not our own personal human bias that gets recognised. I think that's really, really vital to get your head round. If you want to, of course, you don't have to. You do your own thing. So anything's on cards, absolutely anything. And if you can't think outside the box,
You're not doing enough work.
well, you're not. You're not doing enough work. But if you can't think outside the box and recognise your own personal bias and how much of a risk you put on that bias coming true, then unfortunately you're set up for probable failure or probable expectation of, oh shit, didn't happen, oh well, whatever. Whereas you've got an opportunity to really push yourself and think that maybe I need to think just slightly differently to my own personal bias, you know, and I think that's the difference in this day and age for especially younger people, and I think they probably are. To be fair, I think they're being forced to think that way because of the way the world's going. To really, 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 really exploit that thought and just think, okay, yeah, well, this isn't a given here, man. This isn't a given. And I don't think for maybe some of us to just recognise that what I've experienced for 40, 60 years now, I'm going to say 50 because the first 10 I was just a complete idiot, but I'm a complete idiot anyway. Tomorrow might be totally different. It can all change on a dime, bang, and it's not me that's making those decisions. So I think this is, to avoid that disappointment or not is entirely up to the personal individual, but you can ask yourself a question: why the hell aren't I getting rich? Well, I think you're thinking the wrong way. Definitely.
Well,
because I've been asking that question
for
50 odd years.
That's the issue. And if we relate that, what you just said there, that statement, why aren't I getting rich? If there's people buying silver and gold and asking why they're not getting rich, they're in the wrong investment. It's not there to get you rich in the first place. We argue it's there to build wealth, a good savings account to get you there, a tool, which is arguably better than saving money in the bank. And there's loads of opinions on that, so I won't go too deep. But let me spin this. We have conversations all the time about the true value of silver. Why do we stack it? Gold, and why it's a good option. But when we follow this market and we look into it and we look at industrial demand and consumer retail, like investor demand, what if this price that we follow, what if it's all nonsense? And what if it is just manipulated? This is a rabbit hole. I'm just throwing it in for the purpose of conversation. I do think that it's such a big, complex market that there has to be a large proportion of it that is genuine. It's reacting to real things going on and demand. But there's some big boys in play at the top who know what they're doing. So, and I ask the question because when we look at what's happening right now, and compare it to what's gone on in the past. When there's wars going on and such things, why of all the times for precious metals to have a dip, why would that happen when a war's going on? Surely the opposite would happen.
Well,
Is it manipulated?
well, it must be. It's narrative driven. It's narrative driven. It's got to be. Doesn't have to be, obviously, but it's the only thing that makes any bloody sense to me, because when you really look at it, it goes back to, what does everyone say? Oh, when there's a war, precious metals goes up, this, that, everyone's worried, that. Well, fucking explain what's just happened then, please. That's your history. Yeah, but that's your history. That's what we were just going on about. It's not the same anymore. There's something else going on. And so you have to lift yourself out of that. Okay, if you want to, of course. You have to lift yourself out of that. Okay, is there something else going on? And then you go down that feasibility learning curve, and then I myself come up with, and I'm not saying this is right or wrong or whatever, but you get to a stage where you think, oh my God, it doesn't matter what I do, that I'm not in control here. I'm not in control of the outcome. What I'm in control of being a part of the outcome, whether it's higher or lower, that's the bit I control, because that's where I can make that choice on investing in something that I think will do something for me in the future, or whatever plan is, but that's an up and a downside. There's no guarantees anymore. I don't think there probably was any guarantees. The only time it was guaranteed is when it was flat for God knows how many years, and against an inflation rate that was pretty steady as well. But to look at that nowadays, with the same glasses on, well, it doesn't make sense. So if it doesn't make sense, something else is going on. What's going on? Yeah, we can all speculate on what's going on, but none of us know.
Well, like Nerd said, there's always a war going on. This could open up a very wide conversation, because over the last few years, I've paid more attention to politics and stuff going on in the world than ever before. And I even now question what I see on the news. I don't tend to follow it because all the news channels and broadcasters have their own agenda, their own political party that they are supporting through the way the angle they come in at, stories they report, and what they choose not to show. But going back to the silver, I won't go off on the politics stuff. But people regularly refer to this, Andy, as real money. Real money. Now, my question with that is, and I understand why they say that. I've referred to it as that before as well. But I can stack these, and this is a 1 ounce Britannia. It has a face value in the UK of £2. It's legal tender. That's what we know. But I can't go and spend this. I can't go into a shop and say, "Hey, mate, can I have a pack of fags or something? Here you go." It doesn't work like that. So, is this real money? What are your thoughts on that? Because it regularly gets referred to as real money.
Yeah, but that's a historical term, isn't it? It's when you look at it in the context of how you want to look at it historically. But being honest with you, who really gives a shit about that?
Here
What
he is.
in true reality, who really, other than you're trying to sell a narrative to feed your own pocket, lots of people will sell that narrative to get fiat currency for a business, through, I don't know, through getting views or whatever for their channel, you know. In true reality, you got to ask the question, what is money? And that is just such a big question because, again, historically, you can go through the people that write down this is what money is and this is how it's determined, this is the definition of it, and this is how you've got to think about it, and this, you know, all the shit that you learn, you know, which is cool, man. It's really cool. It's part of life. But in true reality, if you wake up in the morning and ask yourself, what do I need today? What my wife would say if we needed food was, got any money, mate? And automatically you go in your wallet to get the currency that you need to go and get food. And it ain't a fucking silver coin. It really
Which is
isn't.
why I say, how useful is it in a potential future situation? We could have thousands of pounds equivalent of metal. In a grid down situation, what good's that going to do for us? What currency do we use then? Well, food is one of your biggest assets. You'll be more
Medicine.
worried about having food on the plate than you will how many bloody Britannias you've got and whether they're capital gains tax exempt. Because you're not selling them.
No.
No
And
one's
for,
got any money.
and for some people, it's really interesting, Craven, as I've got older, and even my wife talks about it now more. We just say, does money give you happiness? Your concept of what money is. And it frigging is not, man. It helps, yeah, we all know it helps. And everyone, when you're younger, that's all you can see, you know. I need to, you know, have a few quid to afford this, to afford that. And that's normal. That's absolutely normal. But as you get older, you begin to realise and you just think, okay, what's really important? What has been really important? And that's being able to get up in the morning and get out of bed, most of us. I know I'm being like a little bit philosophical here, but it's the
You're
truth.
right.
It's the real truth. If you know, for me it is anyway. It's being able to afford to go on holiday if you're lucky enough. It's being able to afford God knows how many cars. It's being able to, you know, without all the credit that's hanging around your neck for years and years and years and years and years and years and years. It's being able to have some quality food to eat. It's to enable that you can just get up and take, that many of us take for granted, that we can just go out and go for a walk and enjoy the company of your partner or your kids or your grandchildren. And it's a really, really deep question, but one that has become so enriched in their day-to-day lives that money is far more important. And it really isn't, but it is. And that's really weird to say that. It really isn't, but it is. And maybe precious metals has made me realize that more. Maybe all my investment journey has made me realize that more. Maybe just life has made me realize that more. Maybe running my own business has maybe, I really don't know. But the concept of money is just so enriched into us that it's just the pound, the dollar, the wherever you are in this world. And that's all you need to live and have a successful life. What does success mean, you know? It's nuts, man. It's really nuts. So that's why I get that little bit of, for people that might not sort of understand where I come from sometimes, that's where it comes from, and it doesn't come from anywhere else. And that's why I get like this funny thing about the hedge against inflation. The 5,000 years of historical value. And it can only be that for the next 10,000 years or whatever, you know. It's just, no, man, no.
It's really powerful, mate, what you're saying, and It's true. I agree with you. I resonate with what you've just said. I think money is a massive issue. Anagram for Miami. Um, Somebody's worth in this world should not be determined by how much money they have in the bank. There are far more important things that um, justify what value is in people. I think that's important. Um, when you say about does money make us happy? In the short term, yes. In the long term, no. And in the short term, it's not necessarily the money that makes us happy. Money is a tool, is a resource that would allow us to, for example, pay off our debts, not have the stress of bills every month weighing us down. Therefore, we might not be happy, but we'll be less stressed. So we'll be more comfortable because of money. But money does not directly make us happy. We chase it, we chase the pound note. Sometimes we do shit tons of overtime, that kind of thing. But money does not directly make us happy. It just, in certain things and certain situations, it makes our life easier. Um, which, you know, like I say, I think it just makes us more comfortable. But what is wealth? Well, health is wealth. Family, loyalty, good friends, being able to get up out of bed in the morning, going for a walk, all those things you said, having good people around you, that's real wealth. Having My granddad said to me before he passed away, if you can count on one hand people who you truly trust, then you are wealthy. And the longer I go on through life, you people move in and out your life, time goes on. I truly agree with that completely, and I realize it. See you later, nerd.
Yeah, man, it's the flip side of that. It makes me sound like I'm some old bastard that is just so against everything. That's so wrong. It's so wrong. It might come across that way, but it's not my intention. The intention is to recognize it. Once you recognize it, then you can live within it, and once you live within it, then you become so much more. I believe so much more. What's the word I'm looking for? Oh God, it was on the tip of my tongue. Oh my God, not just the walk. Um, oh my God, what's the word? I want to say it, but I can't. I hate that. God, that's part of getting old, man. It is part of getting old. Um, Not cute, smart. You get smarter. You get smarter because at the end of the day, I recognise we need money, obviously. Unless I move somewhere where I can grow my own food and live happily ever after and not rely on anything else in my life, then great. But I don't live in a Western economy that relies on the pound to live, to buy our foods and whatever. But by recognising and I've recognised it possibly myself personally at an older point in my life. But one thing I'm trying to do is get my younger children on that bandwagon of recognise it, and they do. And that way, we can be smarter over what we're doing, not so lapsadaisical in our thought processes. Not just, yeah, we all need to understand. "Oh, I'm going to get a takeaway this weekend." Great, go for it, man. Go for it. But just, do you need it? You know, we have those conversations. Do we need to? I do it with my wife. You know, I'll get Chinese and she can, oh, fucking cookies, lazy git, you know. And then we cook something spontaneously, and it's better than what we ate or could have had from the Chinese. And we both sit there and go, my God, that was so much better for us, wasn't it? And we didn't spend the money. And so
Yeah.
that concept. It's not a given because we love the treats. We love to be able to do this and do that. But it's putting yourself in a position where you can really get that balance going and just be smart and then, not chase all these different places that want your money off you, which we all had a tendency and all have a tendency to just throw at because we're emotionally pissed off that day or whatever, or can't be asked or can't be bothered. It's about, yeah, that's the word I was looking for. It's about getting smart with the position in life you're in. Half the battle, and it's hard. It's not easy. So much as you mentioned a little while ago, stress. We live in a stressful world with the pressure. There's, the peer pressure as well, and there's all of that going on all the time. And it's hard, man, but it's not impossible. You can get smart. You can be a lot smarter than the average bear, as Boo Boo used to say, Yogi used to say.
I love what you said, because it was really relatable to me and my missus, mate. And it's usually me out the two of us, and I'll say something along the lines of, "Oh, should we get a takeaway or something?" Not every week, but every other week, I'll probably say, "Oh, should we get a pizza or a kebab, whatever, Chinese?" And then we'll say, "Oh, actually, maybe not." Then we cook something, we enjoy it more, and then afterwards, we're like, "Oh, I probably would have just spent 25, 30 quid on this. I feel really good about that." And it goes back to when you potentially buy something on impulse. If you can train yourself, not all the time, because look, life's too short. If you want to go buy something, go and buy it. But just as a general, with certain things, if you can stop for just a split second and think, do I really need this? Why am I buying it? Can I come away from this for an hour or a day and see if I still want it? And half the time when you do that, you'll either go ahead and buy it anyway, but feel better because you've taken the time to think about it, or you'll decide, actually, no, I don't want that. Why was I going to buy that? And it's really quite powerful. And impulse buying is so relevant to the space that we're in, mate. Buying stuff as a reaction to either the market or something you've seen, some hype, some ad that's come up saying they're running out of stock quick or something. Everything in this world's trying to sell you stuff. Take time to think about it. Everyone wants your money.
They do, unfortunately. Everyone wants it, and that's everybody, because that's the life we live. It's even if you want to start a business and you're trying to find out, okay, the true reality is, okay, how can I provide something of value to people and make a profit out of it? Just listen to those words. That's like me saying, okay, I'm going to come up with a business, great, it's the best thing since sliced bread. You really need it, and then become the best salesman ever and convince you to part with £1, 100 quid, 200 quid, whatever.
Well,
Convince you that that's what you need to do, because that will make me, my business, my livelihood for my children and my family, and times that by God knows how many millions, and big retail outlets. That's the world we live in, and that's just reality. But it's getting smart with it,
There's an important part of that sentence, though, that either makes it, in my opinion, a good thing or a bad thing. There's the element of, what can I do to add value to someone for a profit? I'm okay with that because of the first part of the sentence. If someone says, oh, what can I do to make a profit? And they miss that bit out, that's where the issue is. And we do see a lot of that. Penny pinches without adding value. It's all there. Everyone wants your money.
And we're suckers for it. That's why there's so many scams. That's why, and you look at the scammers nowadays, and what we call scammers. They might not be scammers, but you look at them and you think, oh my God, they're geniuses. How they come up with these incredible schemes to convince people, you need to borrow your money because I've got the next thing for you, or I've got something within your interest. You go and buy a car, man. I thought this morning. Go to a car dealership. You will get treated like a fucking king until you've signed on the dotted line, handed over your money, whatever you're doing,
and then see you later.
Then you walk out of there, and all you've done is earn commission for the person that treated you like a king. You probably never deal with them again, unless there's an issue with initially, and you just get fed into the rest of the dealership that has no personal attachment to you whatsoever. They've got you. Is that being smart when you really think about it? Now, a lot of people go, oh yeah, but the experience is really cool. It was really nice to be treated like a king, and I don't doubt that. But that's just as the same as you go out, have a really good night out, spend 200 quid, piss it in the trough in the toilets, and you come home with nothing, and everyone else has forgot about you. Is that smart? Is that smart?
No, but it goes on, and you know what is smart? A lot of the fraudsters out there. There's a lot of fraudsters in this world, and you've got to watch out. You've got to keep your eyes peeled. Not everything that you think you see is what it is.
It isn't, man. It isn't. But it's a reality, and you know, we're all. I've fallen foul to it. I don't know how many times in my life, you know, and I probably will again. Maybe I don't know, but it is what it is, and so I don't know how we got to this stage when we're just talking about a 5,000-year-old asset that probably is good forever and is a great hedge against inflation. I don't know how we've gotten into car dealerships, but it's money, isn't it? It's money is the root of all evil, and how you see that evil is up to you. It's a personal thing.
Nothing lasts forever. Just because something's good for 5,000 years, does this mean it's going to be good for the next 5,000 years? I don't know. It sounds like I'm putting doom and gloom on the thing that I talk about the most and what I do myself, but I'm just asking the question.
But what you must remember is the banks are buying it.
Yeah, and I am a firm believer that you should do what they're doing themselves rather than what they tell you not to do or what to do, because they will make it harder and more difficult for us to buy gold, silver, precious metals through taxes, through different things. But at the same time, they're just stockpiling it themselves. So what does that tell you guys?
Well, I was being a bit facetious there because I don't know whether the banks are buying it. You're just going on what someone else is telling you.
The government are, countries are. That's a fact. Look at China right now. China bought so much gold.
Apparently.
Okay, well, there's yeah. Once again, it's what we hear. I'm led to believe it, but I could be wrong. I'm not disputing that.
It's interesting because it brings me on to the next thing. Is in this day and age, I mean, I've got on my poker chips, trust nobody, verify everything. How the fuck do you verify anything nowadays? Because you have to, at some point, you've got to trust something. But in this day and age, for me personally, because I'm an old git,
You don't trust
it's like,
anything.
I just like, what? Is that a scam? Is that not? How do I know that? You know, that belief thing, which I think is really important. It's very stupid of me. And sometimes I think that can be a bit of a downside to my thinking because at some point we have to trust something. Otherwise, you know, what can you do? Just start distrusting yourself. But we are in that world where you talk to, talk to my boys and my daughter, and they go, Dad, this is just, I don't trust that. Fuck that. And I say, what do you trust in? For God's sake, mate. Do you trust I love you? And they go, yeah, I love you. You know,
You're getting Dave excited, mate. You mentioned chips,
chips. Did we mention chips?
poker chips.
Now, let's change the subject and get on to chips. Do you think, or why do you think poker chips has become so popular in the community?
I think it represents what community really is. I think it's like a form of currency in a weird way. We trade them, we share them, we show them off on our channels. It makes people feel valued and part of something bigger. And everyone has them. They're very popular. And it's nice. It's great. I don't have loads to say on that, mate. But they have become more and more popular. Everyone wants everyone's poker chips if they're into that. And Jack Stacks is here, who has arguably one of the best poker chip collections that there is out there, and I love to see it. The designs, though, I love the creative side for people. I mean, good God, look at Benson. I mean, that guy. How many designs has he done? How many poker chips has he created? It lets people express themselves. Yeah. And I just think it's fun. I think it's healthy, and it brings people together, which is what community is all about.
Do you think that it's a great way of giving yourself identity through creatively producing a chip? that you creatively make your own, and
Yes.
then you use it as your identity.
Yes, because people associate a chip or a design with you. It's sort of like your brand, it's your personality, it's your logo, it's whatever it is. People see that and think of you. Um, yeah, Jack's actually says Benson does mine. Yeah, he does a great job, by the way, Dave. Yeah, I mean, I've recently changed my logos, so my identity is slightly different, but it is still the same coloring. I made my first poker chips, Andy, the first batch. I think I got 50 or 75 or something like that when I started all this. And I was obviously at the time I was in Stacker Social, and it's very popular to do the poker chips and stuff like that. And I made 75. I spent God knows how much on post sending them all out. I've never gone back and bought more. I may do in the future, but it's building friendships. It's being part of a community, feeling valued, but it's also in other ways. It's also promotion as well.
Yeah, it is. It serves millions of different purposes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it's getting more and more popular. And do you think it is another way of possibly saying, well, we can't afford to really get stacking like we used to because it's too expensive? This is a really good alternative to, because it's cheaper, obviously. This is a good alternative to carry on that collecting, swapping, peer-to-peer thing.
Yeah. It
Do you
plays
think
into the
that's
hobby,
happening?
doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, sorry, that was so loud, that notification you just got. It threw me off my thought.
That's my
Oh my
wife.
god. So, Andy, get inside now.
That's my wife probably saying hi. She's on her dinner break, probably. Oh my God, 3 notifications.
Someone's in trouble. Yeah, look, I mean, look, what do we do with poker chips? We sort of stack them, we collect them, and it's not just one or two. Some people create poker chips where they've only got 20 of them, like limited mintage, very similar to what we see with coins and stuff, and different designs. And it allows people to enjoy that collector hobby whilst not worrying about necessarily spending loads of money, and get that sort of a dopamine hit in a way, but through a different means. You're stacking plastic rather than metal, but you're not doing it for an investment. You're doing it because it makes you feel good and part of something bigger, the community.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I find it fascinating. And if it is a form of identity, then my poker chip is shit.
Well, I mean,
All,
it speaks for itself. Trust nobody, verify everything. That is your
yeah,
brand, mate.
that's a typical old git, really. I've just realised it, really.
I still regret the day I lost your trust. And then for those listening, Andy once sent me a giveaway prize that I won, and at the time, naive me, I didn't think much of it. I wanted to give to the community, and I didn't have much to give. I already had a Krugerrand, so I thought I'll give this one away to someone else. And now Andy never trusts me again, and he's never going to send me anything ever again, and I've lost that trust.
You give away 100 quid at some point.
It's crazy when you put it like that, mate. Yeah, definitely. When silver was at the peak that we saw it in my time, £86 an ounce with premiums, people were paying 110, 115 for an ounce of silver. I gave that away to someone when it was worth maybe 30, 40 quid, But it goes to show how volatile the markets have been, right?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. So yeah, it's quite interesting to see the development of the poker chip thing. It's quite funny actually. It wasn't really a thing when I started, albeit Stephen did come up with that idea in the UK. I don't know, 2 or 3 years before I started stacking. He had the Bulldog poker chip, which I'm very lucky to have one of those. Because there's hardly any around. So the concept was there, and I always remember when Cobra was on the scene, which he started roughly at the same time as me. He started doing the stickers, which was quite an American thing at the time. and not such a big thing over here. And that's all took off, is the stickers, the poker chips. So it's really developed and really become a thing within the community. And that's really interesting. And I often think to myself, are we going to see if things don't change with the cost of living and the price of stuff, will we see copper really, really take off into the into the collecting world of just collecting coins? Maybe not necessarily, well, probably not necessarily from a value point of view, but just there's no value in poker chips, but that seemed to took off really. So there's no reason why the copper side shouldn't either. Really, when you think about it.
Look at Pokemon.
Don't get me started on Pokemon.
I'm not trying to get you started on it because it goes deep, but people love stacking, collecting, building up these things, and when we put what they're actually worth intrinsically aside, such as you said with copper, then although I totally disagree with this statement now, Pokemon started as some cardboard, some pieces of paper with some really nice designs on, related to a TV series, and it was a game, and you could trade them and you could play an actual game. When they made that, did they really know what this was going to be and how much people would love it and the value that would now be associated with those cards? No. It's subjective. It's what someone's willing to pay for it. It's how much it means to them. And of course, over time, as that popularity builds, they find ways in really smart ways to monetize it and earn those pennies out of it. And fair dues to Pokemon. Jack Stack says, I love Pokemon. I know you do, mate.
It's really interesting. I don't know if you want to talk about Pokemon or not, but what I will say, if you really, really want to understand the mentality of people, emotion, investing in FOMO, in hype, in everything that we probably are not smart about, look at Pokemon. And you will learn everything that you will need to know in a very short period of time about yourself and about us. Because it's like anything we collect on steroids. It really is. It's nuts, man. It's absolute nuts.
It is. And crikey, when we ask questions about, God, would you buy that? Look at the premium on that silver piece Andy's just bought. That's not right. Okay, mate. Well, what did you just pay for that Pokemon card you just got? What's that worth intrinsically?
Yeah, it's nuts. I mean, the most we've spent on one stupid piece of cardboard was 550 quid.
Wow.
Which is bang, mental, man.
Base set.
Yeah. So regardless whether what it is, it's nuts. It's mad. It's stupid. It doesn't make sense, and yet there is a portion of me that kind of makes sense of why we did it. But in true reality, it's a load of bollocks. But it happens, and that's just me. You times that by an industry that is far greater than precious metals, far greater than most things, in that collectible business. Times that by millions, millions. That's what people do, and we're nuts. And that's how I can recognise and call myself a complete dickhead, as well as slag it off at the same time, because I'm part of the problem. So every time I say that you need to be smart, I'm not saying I'm smart. I'm part of the problem too. But what I do need is to recognise that I'm a dickhead. And by recognising that I'm a dickhead, maybe the next time I won't be so much of a dickhead. Or I might be a bit more, or I might be more calculated and efficient to the choices that I make. That's the important thing.
That's very honest of you, Andy.
Oh, I'm always honest, mate. That's why I always say you do you. Don't fucking do what I do. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's one of the many journeys that you can go on if you go into that rabbit hole of Pokemon. I did. I stepped back from it, and but I appreciate it. There's. It goes without saying, we get so caught up talking about the price of things, money, money, money. Why are we doing it? Asking these questions, but some things that we do aren't just from the place of value and because it's the right thing to do. We do it because we want to do it, and we don't have to justify that to anyone when you're the one doing the hard hours to get the cash to exchange for these items. That's the bottom line here. Whether it's right or wrong, if somebody tells you, "Oh, you shouldn't have done that," they might have a point in from their point of view if you were doing it for an investment reason. But at the same time, what the hell's it got to do with them?
Yeah, it's true. It's very true, man. It is. I know I muck around them, and there is a deeper message to what I say after time. There is a way, I think, personally, that you can find of trying to stop those high and lows if you want to invest. There is a way, and that probably comes down to how risky you are with what you're doing. But it all depends on how much time and energy you want to put into limiting your failures more than anything. Because if you don't, again, unless you're extremely lucky, which my youngest boy seems to be most of the time, lucky git, but that will run out one day. Unless you're extremely lucky, you're going to have too many lows, and that's not a bad thing to have lows because you can learn from them. But for the majority of us, we are probably not going to be in that bracket of whatever people say successful when it comes to money. The majority of us are just going to get by, do what we need to do, and hopefully have those little wins here and there. And I think that's been totally real with yourself more than anything.
Yeah, I think the metric in which you measure success by is very individual, though. What is success to person A might not be success to person B, and that's okay. What is success to Andy might not be success to me. I might have lower or higher expectations of myself. It doesn't matter. But I do think goals are healthy. I think we should all have some form of goals, something to strive towards. Because if you haven't got a goal, what are you aiming for?
See, it's an interesting. I love that message. What Jack Stacks just put: buy what makes you happy. A lot of people say that, and you could even transfer that to do what makes you happy. But what I've witnessed in, especially precious metals, is it's a run of high. You get a high, you get that buzz.
It's a drug.
And then, if I'm really honest with myself personally, the excitement is having the capital to do the research, then press the button, because 9 times out of 10 it is a button, or physically exchange peer-to-peer, obviously. Then to feel all good about yourself, yeah, bracket, maybe classify that as making you happy, and then within 24 hours, unless it's hanging around your neck, a ring, piece of jewelry, piece of whatever that's with you all the time, it goes.
It's a hit. It's temporary.
Yeah, unless I can have access to everything that I've bought to give me that buzz to just look at it. In true reality, I look at it. Does it make me happy? I'm talking personally, just personally here. Does it make me happy? It might make me proud. It might make me realise what I'd need to do to be able to put that in front of myself. Good, bad, whatever. Hopefully that made me proud, and then it just gets moved on. It just gets moved on until we look at, okay, what's the next thing that's going to make me this is why I always say things like love is king, because if you can put love into your life, which is free, and you can be a part of it and have it with you all the time, all the time. If you can make that, you're happy. Everything else is a bonus. If you can just wake up and appreciate and show some gratitude, to think, oh my God, I'm been lucky enough to have some work this week, or I'm lucky enough to live where I am and look around, and I'm lucky enough to enjoy the birds in the garden. It all sounds so crazy, but it's so true. That's what can make you happy. Then everything else is a bonus. It's a bonus that I can get out some gold sovereigns and look at them and go, oh, they're really nice. Or show my grandson, or show the kids some new notes that I bought, and share that experience. That makes us all happy. But then we're looking for the next thing. We're looking for the next thing. We're looking for the next thing. And I think a lot of this life that we live, it has to be drummed around a consumable type thing to make us happy, rather than just sitting there and just enjoying each other's company. Maybe that's what really makes me happy. When we've been with a family, or spent some time with my son and my to be daughter-in-law, or my daughter and her partner, or my grandson, and when they go and you think, oh, that was really cool, man. It really makes you happy, and it's a nice
Yeah.
memory. It's not something that just then gets tucked out the way, and then you're looking for your next hit, which is what Pokemon's all about. Nothing wrong with that. And
I
if I
think
get out my collection of the really early stuff, I can't appreciate my Pokemon cards. I can't. I might look at them. I have to force myself to look at them and just realise, oh wow, that's cool. But then I look at them and I think, that made me happy. No, it's my fucking wife saying, oh yeah, you're up for it tonight. That makes me happy.
but you know what though? It's reading between the lines here, Andy, and I like what you said about getting your silver coins out, your Pokemon. It's like a bonus, right? And it speaks volumes of the fact that we should really appreciate the smaller things in life. The smaller things in life. Anything else is a bonus. Don't take anything for granted. And I've learned that from my time within stacking.
Yeah.
Because, like I say, I feel like I've done a full 360, mate. I feel in my head, although I haven't, I feel like I've started stacking again, 18 months in. Different mindset, calmer approach. Because I see it for what it is to me, and it's not the be all or end all that I thought it was. And it's something that's there, that builds, it does its thing. It's much more important things going on in my life. And I just appreciate being part of the conversation. Simple.
It's the people. The people make everything. The people will always make everything. The personalities will make everything. And as soon as, this is one of the other things I think a lot of men are, the ego side of the business, and the hobby, as soon as we get this money and value, and I'm trying to get something out of you, but indirectly not doing it, or not showing you it, but I know it fucking rubs you up the wrong way, and really, it's all that bollocks that starts to destroy the community of people. And that's an important thing to recognise, because there's nothing you can do about it, because people are people. But what you can do is choose the way you navigate your way through it all, more than anything. And that choice then negates, or makes you do things differently and think differently, and always trying to build that, whatever you think is success in life. It's hard, man. It's really hard, especially in today's age, where you are, or we are all bombarded with, you need this, you need that, you need this, you need that. You can't eat this, you can't eat that. If you do, you're going to do this. You need this insurance, you need that insurance, and you need this. It's just a continual bombardment
To
of
create fear.
stress.
To
Stress.
create fear. Yeah, stress. To create fear, to cause stress, to make people think they have to do things a certain way, or do things or they're going to miss out. I think you learn over time to have the confidence to turn around and say, no, actually, I don't need that. I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine. I don't need to buy your shit. I'm okay. I know what's important to me. And also, this is important to me, right? What's changed and why I say I feel so much calmer about stacking now is I just have a realistic time frame on stuff. I'd love to have thousands of ounces, but I'm not bothered about when I get there because it will happen when it happens. And by the way, I'm very aware that over the next few years, I'm going to see the market do things that I either really like or I really don't like. But I'm not going to think each time it does that it's the end of the frigging world, man. Like, oh my god, silver's just gone up to £100. I've missed my buying opportunity. Oh no! Oh my god! No, I don't care what it does. It doesn't matter. I don't care. I'm detached from that and I'm laughing about it. But it's the God's honest truth. There's more important things going on in life. It'll do what it'll do. I'll continue stacking it. I'll continue talking about it. I'll keep begging you to come on the odd Sunday and chat to me and share your wisdom, mate. And I'll keep enjoying the journey. And I hope the people that are here listening and people who are on our channels stick to it too. And I will say thank you as well, by the way, because I can see at the top there's 10 likes on this right now, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah, it's cool, man. And all me and Craig were doing is we would have had this conversation, but not online, not live, obviously by YouTube, so it would have happened anyway. But it's really cool what you say there, because in true reality, when you recognise that, and this is what I say about, to get rid of some of that stress, you can still, getting back to what I'm doing, not that I'm special, I'm a fucking idiot, I really am, but if you can just see, or anyone can just see, that if you're smart, you don't have to panic, you can buy little and often if you want to be in the space, and you'll always be in that space, and you'll always be in that position, hopefully, to think, oh shit, I've now got to sell some, oh my god, it's all gone down, I'm not going to make the money. You're stressing, you're like, oh, I'm never going to do this again, what are the bollocks? Whereas if you just put that little bit away on a regular basis, that is not going to not put food on the table, not going to affect that, not going to affect your mortgage, your rent, your whatever you're doing, life, going out, whatever, you will stack forever.
Yeah.
Because you've got no pressure. You've got no pressure.
I'm not relying on it. I'm not bending over backwards and spending my last penny on it. It's just not. It's not as much. It's not that big of a priority to me. But it wasn't like that from the start, which is why it's so powerful to have this conversation now. Because being truthful, for me, some people might see it from the start. If you did, great, but I didn't. At the start, it was everything. Oh my god, I've started late. I need to catch up. Oh my god, there's this new release. If I don't get this, oh, what am I going to do? I'm going to miss out. Now I don't care. And do you know what? I don't chase as well now. I don't really even care too much how shiny or beautiful something is. I just want, this is why I said in my latest video, which was about boring silver that I continue to stack. I just want an ounce of silver, Andy. I don't have an emotional attachment anymore. I don't care how pretty it is or what fantastic state-of-the-art piece of artwork it is. I just want an ounce of silver, as and when I can afford it, to put away and not think about again. And all right, if I come and look at it in a year and think, oh wow, that 2 or 3 ounces is now 50 ounces, I feel proud of that. Like you said, then fantastic. If I then look at the market to think, wow, when I was buying, spot price was £45 an ounce, now it's 70. Great, that's really good. But it doesn't really change anything.
Yeah, I mean, Average Geo just expressed it. And it's so powerful, because I was the same. I had too much money to spend on shit, really, to be honest. But I think having the responsibility of the children and trying to help them has really forced me to be efficient more than anything, and they learn through my failures more than anything. But it's so interesting that the real power, if you can detach the emotional stress of the value away from the collecting, you've won. You will win all the time because you've got. It doesn't matter what happens. You always know. Well, I've only got 30 quid to spend. What can I get? It's not going to break the bank. It's not going to mean I'm not going to go without anything, or 20 quid or 10, or I'm just going to save up a 10 for a couple of weeks or whatever. Or I'm going to do an extra little job to do this so it doesn't interfere with my normal day-to-day expenditure. That then detaches your emotion from the value, and then you don't see it as a desperate, stressful value. You just see it as, oh shit, this is really cool, man. I'm really
Yeah.
sort of, I really I do now. It's just like, okay, I've got 30 quid. What's the best way I can spend it? Can I save a little bit more? Can I? What? Like this week was a great example. Everyone knows that I've got this cash fund now, and it's very easy. Again, temptation. I can spend it. I can go out and blow the lot if I want to. But for me, it's just when I'm sitting there thinking, normally on a Sunday, it's like the weekend, because it's a good gauge of, because the market's settled, doesn't move, and it's a pretty good gauge for me. And I do it on a Sunday because it's the beginning of the week, obviously. And I just sit and I think, okay, shall I do another half hour? I'm going to give it away a little bit now. Shall I do another half hour? I can afford to do it. It's only going to be like plus, I think, who was it? If I'd gone to Silver Trader, I think his half ounce year of the horse was 37.50 all in, no postage or anything. I went, yeah, okay, £7.50 over budget. Fuck me, I've got 200 sitting there. Not 200, it'd be 170. So 30 was it, making up to 200, 170. What's that going to make any difference? And I sat and I thought, hey, yeah, but if I get quarter ounce for 20 quid, I can save another tenner. What do you think? Yeah, but that's because I've got no emotional attachment to it other than, ooh, I've got a little bit more now to maybe, if I go down the quarter side, I've got a little bit more now to go into that pot that that's my emergency fund. That's my washing machine breakdown money, whatever situation you're in. That's something I didn't have before, and I'm stacking. There's all those pluses that all the fucking doubters weren't thinking about at the beginning. It's the value of doing that is just massive, absolutely massive. And then you just become very different. Your thinking becomes very different. It just becomes a no-brainer.
I love what you're doing, and I love how you broke that down, mate. And so often in this space, people will look at a video, jump on there, and there'll be the £1,000 net worth, as you love to say, that likes to come in and say, "Oh, Andy, you should not be buying that." I'm sorry, who the fuck are these people to turn around and tell you what you should and shouldn't buy? Well, if their situation's so great, they've got it all figured out and they don't need to think about different things, I'm really happy for them. But what you just said there is real value. And do you know what? I take great enjoyment about having that little window shopping for a bit before we make a purchase, trying to squeeze, in some situations, with what the budget is, every last sort of bit of value out of it that I can, and just enjoying that. And you'll feel good about it. And yeah, I like what you said. And also, when we're stacking, we talk about the emotional attachment with it. That normally comes back to money. If when you are stacking, and I can say this because I've felt it, I've experienced it, and I've changed my whole outlook because of this. If you're stretched because of your stacking habits, you're doing it wrong. You've got your numbers wrong. You've set too high of a bar of what you want to get to. Stacking should not leave you short for anything else, and that's why now it doesn't matter to me. I've got a smaller budget, and take it or leave it. Before I started stacking, that budget would have been spent in the pub. I would drink it away. So regardless what value I'm getting when I can, if I'm going a bit smaller, paying a higher premium, it keeps adding up, and I don't need to sell it. It endures, it stays there, it builds, and in 5 years, I'm not going to care about the £5 I could have saved.
Yeah, Yeah, man, it's common sense, but it's not right. It's not wrong. There's nothing wrong with getting down the pub and pissing it up the wall. There really
There's no
isn't.
right or wrong. It's just
That's what
it's
you
just
want to
opinions
do.
and experiences.
If it's just your money, and you have to find that journey. But it's kind of cool documenting the journey because at the end of the day, what you're doing, I'm doing, what a lot of people are doing is just hopefully it just gives people triggers to sort of maybe make better decisions or worse decisions. I don't know. Some of my decisions are the worst in the world, but that can be a good thing if you learn from it, learn from my mistakes. Um, yeah, it's good, man. I love this space. This space deserves this sort of content, honest, real, proper content. Um, and I'm really proud that I've continued, although it's a struggle sometimes because I just want to walk away. But that's just because I'm an emotional fish, apparently, according to my wife. Um, yeah, it's cool, man. I love this space.
Trigger.
I love everything that it provides, the good, the bad, because it just really builds your own personality up and builds you. It makes you. It makes you. Did I hear trigger?
Yeah, you did. You did say it in conversation, and I love Trigger, Dave, on your channel, mate. And yeah, it's what I love. Put it all aside, and hey, Bear as well, from across the pond.
Baby.
Thank you for joining.
I love that. I love the
Yeah.
way you said that. Hey, Bear. Hey, Bear.
Hey, Bear. Hey there, Bear. It's an evolving conversation. I love this is what I mean. I'll stack the metals on the side, but what I really truly love about being part of this is the evolving conversation, and I'm really proud to take part in lives like this with creators like you, friends like you, because um, it's not really all about chasing the views or anything like that by going live on YouTube. It's just being honest, and being real. And if you guys were around on Sunday to watch Sundays with Craven that Andy was a guest on, you'll know what his opinions are on 80% of what he what he consumes online, and
Did you
you
like
won't
the
get
way?
that here.
Did you like the way I answered that?
You did. You turned into grumpy granddad, but I love it. I didn't know what to say because it was like such a blunt, short statement answer, and I was like, okay, is he going to elaborate? And I was like, I sort of like stuttered for a second, and you were like, what I said was, I said what I said. Move on. It was just like mic drop, and that's the Andy we all know and love, mate. And it was straight to the point. Amazing.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It's cool. It may Cove. I heard Cove chuckle.
He did, yeah. He always laughs. He knows what you like.
It's true, man.
It
I
is.
don't know. Sometimes you don't know. Why do we pussyfoot? I think a lot of time we pussyfoot, whatever, and I'm the same. Apprehensive. We don't want to upset anybody. Yeah, but sometimes, like the conversations I've had with my kids and the conversations my parents had with me, we don't like to hear the truth. We we just don't like to hear our truth sometimes, even if we don't believe it's true. But sometimes we just have to fucking listen to it. Whether we do anything with it or not is up to us. That's the beauty of living in this so-called house. Um, but yeah, it's as they all take it. Because I turn around like, at the dinner table, I say, "Well, that's the truth, man." And all of them, my wife goes, "Oh, it's the truth. It's the truth." Like this, yeah. They go, "Yeah, because you're right, Dad, I suppose."
The truth hurts in a lot of cases. People don't like hearing it because they don't like the truth.
Exactly. None of us do. None of us do.
Does that mean that we should stop speaking the truth because it could offend someone? No. I personally won't say too much on that from my own experiences recently, but
He's gone again. Interlude.
sorry, I just disconnected briefly because Benson keeps calling me. I don't think he knows that we're live.
Oh, right. Sorry. Well, I don't know. My battery is getting low. I have no idea. If I plug my charger in, would it will I still be able to use the live or not?
I plugged mine in, mate, because mine was on 1% before.
Because when I put in my headphones, you couldn't hear me, could you?
No.
So I'm just wondering whether if I put, shall I try it?
You put it on charge, yeah. I mean, it shouldn't affect anything because it's not changing your audio input or output. It's just charging your phone.
Okay, so you're gonna have to entertain everyone because I'm gonna have to sod off, get an extension lead right outside.
Yeah, take your time, mate. Take your time. People can stare at my ugly face. And whilst Andy has gone, folks, if you haven't already, hit the like button. And if there's anyone here that's not subscribed to Andy, then hit the subscribe button. He makes real content. He shares an honest journey, inspirational one. And yeah, get on board. If you've come across from my channel from sharing the link, please do just hit the subscribe button for Andy. He's not too far away from 900. Be good to see him get there. And whilst Andy isn't here, to save me just talking absolute waffle, for those of you, it's a very intimate, this, guys. I can see 4 of you there tuned in right now. If you have any questions, anything at all, pop them down below. We'll call this for a few minutes a live Q&A section. Ask me anything you want in the world. Give me something to talk about. I'm right here. I have to say, Andy's garden looks very pretty, very nice. It's a beautiful day here today in the UK. I wonder what it's like across the pond for the likes of you, Bear. Is it nice weather there? It's windy here, but it's nice. Anything at all, Jack Stacks. Ask anything you like, mate. Give me something to answer whilst we wait for Andy to plug in his charger. What have you got for me? Do your worst. I can see 11 likes as well, guys. That's really good to see for a spontaneous random live stream. That's really, really good. Oh my God.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear, mate.
So that works, right? I'm going to make a cup of tea while you're chatting.
Nice. Partly cloudy and 61 Fahrenheit. That's so 61. I have to convert there because over here we use degrees, mate. What's 61? Is that like medium? Is that like 10, 15 degrees? What's that work out as? I have no idea. 61. How many Fahrenheit is like freezing, like 0 in degrees Celsius?
68 is 70.
68 or 70?
Sorry, 68 is 20, I think.
Okay, so yeah, so if for you, Bear, if it's 61 Fahrenheit for you, mate, then you're probably what, like 15 degrees, like a pretty mild overcast day, maybe for you. Is that about right? You have to let me know. And Dave, are you still thinking of a question, mate? Yeah, so 15. Oh, nice, man. I don't know what it is here. When we started this live, I was sat outside initially when I started talking to Andy. I was actually getting burnt. It's really quite warm today. You can sort of see behind me, although it's not a great view, but it is very sunny here. Dave, you keep sending that emoji out. What are you thinking about, mate? Tell me your thoughts. There's 5 of you in live right now, guys. Ask anything you want. We're waiting for Andy to make himself a nice cup of tea. So you've just got me. Ask me anything in the world. I can see 2 people in the comments, but there's 5 of you watching. So go on. Who's lurking in the background? I know you're there. Talk to me. What are we all doing today with our days? As you can tell, me and Andy are not working today, so we're doing this. What are you guys doing? Are you at work? You just woke up? Different time zone for you, Bear? What's going on? Bear's listening at work. Nice. I hope your day goes quickly for you, mate. Or maybe you really enjoy your job and your work. If so, I'm happy for you. That's good. You're onto a real winner if you enjoy what you do and you get paid for it. Helps fund the stack a lot easier. Also, Bear, what did you pick up, mate, when you went to Harry's coin shop, when you went there with Humble? What did you manage to get yourself? I've just got some interesting post. Oh, okay. So we might see a mail call video soon from you, Jack Stacks. I'll keep an eye out for that, mate. I wonder what that is. Some interesting post. What could it be? Knowing you, mate, it's probably a load of poker chips. I just bought some melting silver. Okay, Bear. So like some silver grain. And Andy's back with his cup of tea.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Hey, it's all right, mate.
I could hear you chatting away. You're perfect for this interluding.
There we go. Yeah, so basically, Andy, Bear's bought some melting silver. He's doing a project for Cartier Silver. Interesting.
Ooh, is that who's Cartier Silver?
Cartier Silver is he's from the US. He's a pourer. He goes on the podcast with Humble a lot.
Oh, right.
A Meg tooth pour. I've seen those, like the shark tooth pours. I've seen more of them recently, Andy. Have you seen them?
No.
I think they're pretty cool.
Yeah, I haven't. I'll be honest with you. I haven't paid a lot of attention to anything outside of the fractional challenge that I'm doing and the general stuff that I'm collecting. Just keeping an eye on those prices more than ever. One of the things I would like to do is probably spend a bit. It's so difficult to do because time's so precious. Spend a little bit more time seeing what's out there. And seeing what people are doing within the precious metals marketplace, really, which is what I used to do a lot of, but I had a lot more time than what I do now.
Yeah, that makes sense.
8-ounce tooth, Jesus.
That pour came out great, Bear. Beautiful colour too. Hey, Dutch, by the way, Dutch Murphy, good to see you, mate. I see you in a lot of the comments and live chat, so it's great to see you here on Andy's channel.
Yeah, it's cool, man. Is that someone else from across the pond?
Dutch Murphy, I believe, is from Netherlands.
Yes, probably. I'm seeing. Look, there's a good chance of that, isn't there?
Yeah.
But I've heard Dutch. I've heard someone's name. Oh, what was it on Predator? Schwarzenegger was called Dutch, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Or it
Yeah,
might be
that's
his
it.
nickname. It might be his nickname, or it might be his name. I don't know.
Hello to Pretty Things as well.
Pretty Things.
Rachel, Jack Stacks.
Oh,
wife?
was that Jack Stacks? Oh, wow.
Yeah, Rachel.
Cool things, and I hope Jack Stacks gets you lots of pretty things. Pretty things.
Yeah, and you'll have to let us know when he next tries to ask you if he's allowed a Chinese. What his attempt to flatter you is.
He's on his best behaviour now, bless him. That's his nickname, or her nickname, Dutch Murphy.
Andy, I'm just gonna nip to the toilet, mate. I'll be 2 minutes.
No worries at all.
So there you go, guys. Ask Andy a load of deep philosophical questions now.
Go on. Ask me. You can ask me what you want about Craven while he's gone. So I definitely will. That's cool, man. It's really cool. This is really sort of an unexpected live. But as I said, like me and Craven would have had this conversation anyway, and having it that, so it's good to share it with other people. I guess maybe it's good, maybe it's not. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see for sure. I love the name Dutch. Always reminds me of Schwarzenegger in Predator. Hello, Dutch. There's something out there, but it ain't no man. Oh, that wasn't him though, was it? That was Billy. That was Billy in the film. You ain't scared of no one, Billy. There's something out there that ain't no man. It's just classic, man. Classic 80s stuff. I think it's 80s or was it 90s? Not sure. Not sure. My gruffy old voice probably pays, as I say, pays a compliment, but I'm not sure whether it does actually, to be fair. So, does anyone else, that if you're in the UK, is it just me or is it just the afternoons seem to brighten up? Is it the mornings that are overcast and now the afternoons get a lot warmer and it's supposed to be really warm tomorrow again, up in the 30s, I believe, which is quite hot, not quite as hot as what it was a couple of weeks ago, I must say. Oh, look, it's Hovis. Hovis is something to say, Hovis, Hovis. Go and eat it. Predator was 1987. Yeah, it's such a cool film, man. Such a cool film. Hovis, Hovis. Go and eat his phone. Chew it. Chew his phone up. I can see it. He's got off again. Bless him. Bless him. Bless him, bless him. Yeah, Predator, just such an iconic film for in 87. What was I? 22 in 87. So, yeah, my hormones were flying probably. Such a monstrous male testosterone filled film. For sure. Did you come and said hello to the camera?
I came back and he's on the bloody couch trying to do a live Q&A with everyone.
Yeah, he come and said he come and said hello, and Dutch said he was -2. Wasn't even thought about Dutch in 1987. Yeah, I was trying to encourage Hovis to buy your phone and chew it up. He wasn't playing ball.
No, I came back and he was literally on the couch as if he was tuning in on the podcast. Bless
Yeah,
him.
he did. He come and said hello.
Oh.
I kept going, Hovis, oh.
I could hear you. I was like, what's he doing?
Yeah, 18. It really is a great film. Yeah, man, it was a great film. We were just talking about Predator.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Was you alive in 1987? 1987, so 1887? 1987.
I just seen Benson's comment as well. Now I know why you cut me off, Craven. Yeah, you tried to call me, Benson, as preoccupied.
Yeah, sorry, Benson. Sorry, mate. Yeah, was you around in 87?
Was I around? I was born in 96, so no, but I have obviously seen the films.
That's nuts, man.
Yeah, I'm 30 this year, mate.
Oh, yeah. 96 you was born, yeah?
Yeah, November.
Yeah, same as my eldest boy. You are old enough to be my son. That's sad, isn't
it? Depends which way you look at it.
It could be my son.
It's not sad for me.
So you start heavy breathing. I could start heavy breathing. You. I am your father.
Yeah. What's even crazier, though, is Hovis, who has been in this world 10 years, is actually 70 years old, technically, which I find crazy. Bless him.
That is mad. How old is he? Sorry?
So he's 10, right? But dogs age in their life cycle. They age 7 years for every 1 year. Their life is 7 times quicker than ours in terms of how they age. So Hovis is effectively 70 plus years old. Bless him.
That's amazing.
He still runs around like a crazy menace, though. He's full of puppy energy. He's still really naughty, and he non-stop barks. So I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon.
Oh,
bless him.
Bless him. Where was we then, dude? Before I had to go and set up an extension lead, plug my phone in, make a cup of tea, have a pee.
Oh, we spoke about so much. I honestly can't remember. I will, if you don't mind, because you said this before. I'll quickly say it as he's here, Benson. We were complimenting your recent shorts, mate, with the use of AI and promoting Apex with all the different silver coins and stuff like that, mate. You've done a great job, and Andy mentioned that before. You weren't here to hear it, but yeah, Craven, do you do any work? Try to do as little work as possible, mate.
You should have been a plumbing and heating engineer.
Yeah.
Should have
Well,
been a tradie, dude. Should have been a tradie. Yeah, I was just saying those latest creations that Benson's putting out on those shorts were they're just amazing, absolutely amazing to make stuff. It's just a creative. Anyone that's into that sort of thing must be like a pig in shit, really, because it's such a great wealth of creativity, and I'm really excited to see where it all goes, Craven. To be honest,
so am I.
that side
Because
of things.
if you know people, and there's a level of skill when you put the prompts in, the messages, the instructions that people learn, and Benson's clearly got very good at that with what he's doing. But by God, if we're at a point now where after AI has been introduced publicly with ChatGPT and other softwares, and now there's software where you can literally describe what video you want to make, and it does it within like 30 seconds. Where will this be in 1 or 2 years? You could create a 2-hour movie. They probably can now, but you could create a really fantastic production level, full feature length movie with a few prompts.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because I was just sitting while you're talking. I was just sitting there thinking, oh my God, that is a great question. Do you think that what we do, what I do, what you do, I know it's different, but it's the creator side, do you think that would just become non-existent and just become AI generated?
No, because although it's fantastic, the
That was,
limitation is
that was a definite no. That was a hardcore belief no.
yeah, and I stand by it. And you've asked me a similar question in the past. Do I think it's going to have a bigger impact on content? Yes, absolutely. Do I think it will get to the point where it replaces content creators? No, because you can never fully replace that human touch. And even now, with such high level AI videos being made, I'm just getting Hover some treats because he's
One minute he's here, next minute he's gone. Hello. Hello. He's gone. He's gone, man. Come back. What is forgiven? He's back. I can't hear you now. No. Oh, we have a technical error. Interlude. I should have. No, he keeps asking me to add. I should have denied.
yeah, I know you're pretending now. Because the difference is, Andy, you can do that as much as you want, but I can hear your background noise. Yeah, all right, yeah.
Sorry.
No, did
It was an interlude, bit of entertainment. That was all.
did you hear my answer to your question?
No, mate. No, it was probably boring anyway, so don't bother.
You're probably right, mate.
Go on.
I don't think AI will replace content creators. I think it will have a large impact on the space as we move forward. And a lot of people will use it to their advantage. And we'll do some really cool and great things with it that we've not seen before. And I look forward to that. But you can never truly replace that human aspect, that human touch. When I watch some of these AI videos that are real people, you can tell straight away that it's not real. Some people don't realize that half the stuff on there is AI. I can tell pretty much straight away with it, and a lot of other people can. And then as soon as I notice that, I'm instantly not engaged in that content. So it takes away that raw human aspect. And yeah, but in other types of content, it's great. You know, I can go on there and make Little John do a badass action scene of a film and then kick a load of ass, and that's really good. But yeah.
Okay. Do you think this could be a million miles away or just not? What if you had, at some time in the future, like this thumbnail on this video is, really lifelike, an avatar of yourself, really lifelike, and you said to your AI agent, okay, I need you to spin me off 5 shorts that will be really good, including me talking about certain subjects within what I do on the channel, and do it. Do you think that can happen
Yes,
at some point?
I think it would almost definitely happen, and people will do that. I I don't think I'd ever plan to do that as my content, though. Me personally.
What's that? Because you think AI can't reproduce you because you're quite unique or something? Or do you think your facial features are that?
The way you worded that was like who the fuck do you think you are? No, it's not because of that, Andy. I want it to be real. I don't want an AI version. I will sit here and say what I want to say myself. You know,
All right, mate. You should not have said that to me because I'm going to pick you up on that now. If you want it to be real, why do you use AI to create all your thumbnails?
because it does a great job for thumbnails. But what we were talking about was videos.
Oh, what if it does a great job with videos?
Well, we'll have to see, but I don't think I plan to use it. You're being difficult. How many sugars did you put in that bloody tea?
Oh, not enough by the looks of it. This little drop of whiskey I dropped in. No, I didn't. I'm always a good boy. Never before. Well, not never before 5 o'clock, but as a rule, never before 5 o'clock.
Is the whiskey coming out on a Tuesday evening?
No, mate. I again, this is a discipline of mine. I've got a very addictive personality, like most people that get into collectibles, I would imagine. Um, and I'm a sucker for whiskey. I love whiskey. Whiskey, unfortunately, doesn't like me too much, but I do struggle if I have one. As you've probably noticed before, I can have 2, I can have 3. On my old whiskey Wednesdays, I used to have half a bottle sometimes, which isn't really good. So me and my oldest boy have always had this thing where we try to recognise things are getting a habit, and then we try and break the habit within 3 days, and then we go 3 days without it, just so we can try and kid ourselves we're in control of our addictions. But it works, and it's a good challenge to yourself, and it stops you from going down the slippery slope.
Yeah. A mistake once is a mistake. If you do it twice in a row, it's a habit. Some habits are bad.
Yeah, and going the opposite way, it's harder to break.
Yes. And no, Jack Stacks, I don't plan on using an AI spider.
Yeah, where did that originate? What's the story from that?
To be honest with you, during my lives, it's mainly when I'm doing lives just me. It's more intimate. People say there's either a ghost or a shadow behind me. And it started, I don't know where it started. I think it got revealed that I don't particularly like spiders. And people try and convince me that there is a spider behind me on my lives, and it's just stuck. And Jack Stacks especially likes to remind me.
That's cool. It's like a Little John thing.
Yeah, that's it.
Do you think we should be pursuing a stacking porn star career?
I mean, that would be a great use of AI for Little John. If I could monetize that, I'd make a new channel and do that. So I wouldn't do it on my Stacking with Craven channel. But to answer your previous question, if AI became that good and I could do it to add value to people's day with Little John and make a profit, then yes. And you could do the voiceovers.
Yeah, I think we'd all take up that challenge. That's for sure. Sure.
I can't wait to ask Kalilo your question on Sunday.
Oh man, that's going to be interesting. I hope he plays with it as well.
I'm sure he will. I had a lot of fun going on his podcast for the first time. It's no longer up on YouTube, but for those that watched it live, it was a lot of fun for the most part, and I do look forward to having him on my channel for sure.
I mean, don't hit down. It was a lot of fun for a start, really, and it was really cool. I don't want to talk about it, obviously, but don't put it down too much. It was a lot. It was cool, man. Don't put yourself
Thank
down.
you.
No, don't put yourself down. It was cool. It was cool. Yeah, for sure. We won't go there, but no, it's wicked, mate. Wicked, wicked, wicked.
Cracking with Craven. What is that a screen name or something? What's that? Cracking with Craven. Cracking what?
Oh, come on. Even my horrible mind can work out what that could be.
I know. Don't worry, Dave. You don't need to answer. I'm just playing the game.
No, it's cool, man. Anything else you want to talk about with metals?
Ooh.
Hey, yeah, what was your prediction? Remember when me, you, and Josh, which I'm just going to give Josh a plug here. I know Josh was on, he was, unfortunately, he got a big gob Andy that likes to talk too much. Cobra loves talking, you love talking. I think Josh did say quite a bit, but I'm giving him a plug here. I would plug anyone to go and watch Josh's channel, because when you actually sit and listen to, from a young man as well, his philosophy on stacking and investing is bloody interesting. It really is. Just getting it from a younger perspective. I'll definitely give him a plug there, that's for sure.
Yeah. YouTube channel comes up as McDonald Bullion. He's a little bit younger than me, and the way he articulates himself and the research he's clearly done, and how he explains his points, it fascinates me, and I always give him credit for that. So yeah, I second what you said, mate, 100%. And I love the chats that me, you, and Josh have had privately as well. This is where this has come from, guys. A lot of these chats that we have, me, Andy, Josh, and there are others as well, like yourself, Dave, in the audience. A lot of them, I wish they were recorded.
Yeah, 100%. Well, we're recording this one. Now, in that conversation, I think it come up, that lovely thing come up. Where do you think the price of silver be by the end of the year?
Oh, it did, yeah.
And I can't remember. I think I said personally I couldn't see it higher than £55 an ounce. I think I said it will fluctuate between 50 and 50. Yeah, 50 and 55. I can't remember what Josh said, but can you remember what you said?
Yeah, I think I said either 85 or 90. I went higher than both of you. I still have.
Still there? Are you still there on that?
I still believe that it could go there. At any time, it could get there. Do I think as strongly now that it's going to happen? Maybe not, but I still don't know, because we don't know what's coming around the corner. I think at the time it was a bit closer and fresher to such insane volatility, and since then it's shown more stability. It's around the 40 to 45 pounds mark, which is like 60 odd dollars for the US guys. And now we're thinking, is it setting a new floor? Is it just sort of holding its ground for a bit? And this, it went so high, but realistically, we're looking at this now as like a dip, as a lower price for silver. But go back 12, 13, 14 months, it is still double where it was. So the prices are still high in comparison to where they were. The question is, silver at 44, 45 pounds an ounce right now, is that still massively undervalued? I still think it is undervalued. Do I think it's undervalued to a point where it's going to correct itself to go to 80 odd by the end of the year? Maybe I'm not as confident as I was when we had that conversation, but I still think, Andy, there is potential for us to see 70 or 80 pounds silver within 2026. I do think that's a possibility.
Yeah, okay. You know, one of my pet hates.
You want me to say why? Honestly, like, I'll say this without having to explain all the economic factors that may contribute to that. We've seen silver move so dramatically in the past, so why the hell can't it do it again in such a short period of time? Because if nobody truly knows what's going to happen and it's done it before, why can't it do it again?
So, are you basing your thesis on a because it did, because it has there's no reason why it can't.
A little bit, yeah.
More, a little bit or a lot?
I'd say a good chunk, a good chunk, a good portion is because of what I've seen in a short space of time, and all the things that we talk about still stand. I mean, you know, the fact that silver is being eaten up commercially more than ever before, and the actual supply of it is not there to meet that demand. Forget all the other little things, and that's happened 6 years in a row. I can't see a world where it doesn't rise. Do you know what I mean? I can't see that world. And who's to say? Who's to say? And by the way, there's so many people I've had this conversation with. I mean, let me give you an idea. I've got Gary, who's credible. I still believe no one truly knows, but I will take his prediction as credible. Who believes we'll see £140 silver this year? So I'm only just over half what he says, and a lot of his predictions have come true. I have consumed content online. I agree with you. Lots of it is bullshit. Sorry for swearing. Maybe it's too early, but a lot of it is. But I try and narrow it down to the ones that I think are quite fair and well rounded, and a lot of those content suggest the same thing. For a number of reasons that they can explain far better than I can. I have to go back to the fact that I've not been in this long enough to try and explain this like some sort of expert, but to stick to the basics, I believe we could see 85, £90 silver within 2026. I still believe that because of what I've seen previously and what I keep hearing in the space. Will it happen? I don't know. You could ask me at the end of the year, so what do you think now? I'll say, well, I was wrong, or Andy, I was right. I may not have had a perfect explanation to predict the future. I could be right or I could be wrong. Only time will tell. But it'll be interesting to see.
Okay, so from that, I'm not disagreeing with you at all. From that, why do we see that predictions bring value to content during conversations when really we use words like could, which is a great hedge?
There's no value in it.
But why is there such this big thing about saying it then if there's no value?
Because for most people, they get to hear what they want to hear. Some people buying silver will follow certain YouTube channels that make crazy thumbnails about silver about to explode and go to the moon, and someone who's got shit tons of it on a table, they'll watch that. It will feed them what they want to see, what they want to hear, because they've started buying it, and oh my god, I'm gonna get rich quick. It feeds people what they want to hear. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. Some people can't see through that. It is what it is. It's hype, it's FOMO, and that's being pushed out to people because those people who are pushing that content out want views and also want to push that narrative that silver is going to go to the moon because they own loads of it. It's telling people what they want to hear. People are obsessed with what might happen. The thing is, it might happen, it might not. Now, I can dance around and say, Andy, I can't give you this really perfect explanation. I'd rather substitute myself out for Josh for that because he could answer that question much better than I can. But I'm still entitled to a prediction. And that prediction, yeah, maybe not as confident now as I was when we had that conversation, but I still do believe we'll see silver hit £80 this year.
I love it when I make people like really not squirm. Justify.
I don't think I squirmed there. I think I was quite honest with you and said I can't give you maybe the answer you want to hear, but who can when you're making a prediction?
You gave me the answer I wanted to hear, which was your view.
Precisely, yeah.
And that's the end of it. That's what I wanted to hear. Whether it's right, wrong, or whether it's irrelevant. And this is why I do what I do, and this is why I'm who I am, is because it just gets people to talk their truth. Nothing more, nothing less. And that's all we need to hear. And then people can make up their mind what they want to believe or not believe, but at least get to talk their truth. There's no bullshit around it. You heard me say there's 80% bullshit, in the community, because lots of people are just not really talking their truth. And it's so easy to turn and say, I think it's going to do this, and then come out with, words like could, well, that covers all angles, isn't it? It could and it could not. Why? What's your real belief, Craven, Andy, Jax, Benson, whoever? What's your real belief? What is your real belief? Where are you coming from? What are you hoping for and not hoping for? What do you want to see and what are you basing it on? Because that helps us all recognise it within ourselves more than anything. That's why I like it, dude. I'm not going to say the dreaded 5-letter word because it'll cost me £1.
Do you know what's I think arguably a better question to push this conversation along a little bit is, regardless what silver does, whether our predictions are right or wrong this year, does it change what you're trying to achieve? For me, it doesn't. So I'll happily make predictions, but whether I'm right or I'm wrong, Andy, it doesn't affect me in necessarily in a good or a bad way. Yes, you could argue if it goes up, what I've got is worth more, so that's good. But then it's not good because as I'm continuing to look to stack for years, I'm then paying more. I'd rather it steadily just do what it's supposed to do, and be a good savings account, which is the reasons why I'm buying it, as I said.
And then the nice thing about what you just said there is, like, if you're right and you wanted to, and you could, then you can transfer that into the current currency that we're using to do something with. If you're wrong, you've still got your stack.
Yeah, I'm not trying to realize my gains by the end of this year. I'm hoping to maybe do that in 10, 15 years, Andy. So, yes, we could see it double in price by the end of the year. Of course we could. It could happen. I don't know if it will, but it could. If it does, unless something drastic happens and I suddenly need a few £1,000 because life or death situation, I'm not going to sell anyway.
It's another great question from this sort of subject that I often think about. It's great, it's lovely. If you're sitting on a fair amount of precious metals and it goes through the roof, everyone's ecstatic. I'll be ecstatic. I don't, I'll be over the moon. The one thing that isn't really spoken about is, what does the rest of the world look like if that happens?
Sorry, one sec. The sirens are going to set my dog off.
Okay, sorry. Craven's been abducted by a hoax.
Yeah, sorry, dude. He's for as long as he's lived, any sirens, it makes him like furious. He's still growling now. Could you repeat the question? Sorry, because that did sidetrack me.
He was probably fed up with all the time that the police have been called to your property for disturbance of the peace, and
Yeah,
he's just got fed up with it, and he's fed up with.
I don't blame him. I mean,
Yeah,
cracking with Craven gets up to a lot behind the scenes,
I'm sure he does. Yeah.
Please, could you repeat the question, mate?
I was going to say, I've got to try and remember it now. It's something along the lines of what a lot of people don't address as, of course, if silver goes, whatever. If you're holding silver, it doesn't matter whether it's an ounce or 100 ounces, 1,000 ounces, 10 ton, whatever. You're going to be quids in theory. But if silver was to do that, what would the rest of the economy look like? Would it have an effect on the cost of living, the price of other stuff, the price of this, the price of that? Would it have any relevance? Do you even think about that? Because I know a lot of people say it, but they don't talk about that. They talk about it because it's wonderful to think, oh, I put all my time and energy into 100 ounces of silver. Oh my God, if it doubles, if it triples, yeah, we experienced that. If it quadruples, I've got lots of money. But then you transfer it, and what does that money look like? Has that had an effect on our money? Has it devalued even more? Has it not? Could it? What
It's
does the world
relevant.
look? What does the world look like?
It's relevant. And it's relevant because when you look to exchange it, like you said, you've decided, now's the right time to exchange this asset, precious metals, back to fiat currency that you can then use to buy things such as food. It's relevant, but it depends on what you can get for that money that you've exchanged it for.
Can you excuse me 1 second?
Yeah,
We've got a parcel being delivered.
no problem. Guys, we've got 4 of you tuned in. I want to say thank you so much. If you are enjoying this, it's a pleasure to be on Andy's channel. We're on 12 likes. I'm going to set a little goal. Can we get to 15 likes? If you've already hit the like button and you're here, no problem at all. Thank you so much for supporting this show on Andy's channel. But if you haven't, please do hit the like button. If we can get to 15 likes, that'll be amazing for Andy. So yeah, that'll be great. I wonder what is in Andy's parcel.
Would you like to see?
Do we get a live unboxing, or is it part of your challenge that you can't reveal?
No, I can actually show you.
Oh, okay. What's that?
Something to do with my work. Well, not really, but something to do with what I've just done recently.
It's not like a dehumidifier, is it?
No. What, that size? That's my hand.
Listen, things come in all shapes and sizes. Don't judge a book by its cover.
That's what my wife always says. She's still married to me, so
It must be how you use it then, mate.
or lack of use, probably. They are, changing subject, sorry. They are, I've just done a bathroom installation, haven't I?
Yeah, big job.
And the customer sent me a text yesterday and said, "Oh, Andy, would you mind getting a pair of shampoo and soap dispensers, and would you mind coming up and putting them in this lovely bathroom that you just done for me?" I said lovely because I'm being egotistically big-headed. So I said, okay, do you mind? So I jumped on Amazon Prime. I talk about technology. Jumped on Amazon Prime last night, God knows, 8 o'clock, something like that. Sent her a picture and I said, are these okay? And she went, yeah, fine. It's just been delivered now. It's amazing.
Wow. There
Absolutely
we go.
amazing. So tomorrow I can nip up there and put them up for them, and got their dispensers.
There you go. Final touches, cherry on top.
Well, I don't know, but I'm not sure I'd have them, but that's what they want. And it's, to be fair, it's very convenient for one of my customers because they struggle to get around conveniently, so they have to have a chair in their own bits and pieces. So put that at a good level for them, and they can enjoy the new bathing experience.
There you go. That sounds very therapeutic.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, where was you?
So I was answering your question, and the relevance is when you come to liquidate, when you come to exchange your precious metals back to fiat, it comes down to, okay, you're going to get the money for it at the time, which you may look at as a lot more than what you paid for, and that can seem good, but you have to then compare that to what can you then buy with that fiat. What's happened to the prices of everything? Why are you selling it? Oh, because I really need to buy some food. Or with inflation and everything going on and the ridiculous prices we're seeing for simple things now, things aren't cheap. You can't even go into a shop and buy a cold bottle of drink for less than £2 most places now. I think that's really expensive, and that's even in my short time growing up. So God knows what you've seen, mate, in terms of the change of prices. Is it worth it? Is it good? I don't know. Maybe you'll have a different perspective on that, or a different angle you want to look at it from. But I'm just saying, when you exchange back to fiat currency, it depends on what you can get for that and the reason why you're doing it. If it's worthwhile, great. But if the world's changed and you can no longer get much for that, what's the point?
Yeah, and I think that's this is a smarter way of looking at things outside the box. And probably one of the biggest things. Can you hear that?
Yeah, and Hovis can as well. He's about to bark.
Do you know what it is?
Is it a fox?
No, it's a young red kite calling his mum.
Ah.
Yeah, we got red kites. First time ever in the church vicarage. They've got a very distinctive call, very different to a buzzard. So yeah, it's quite different to have that around actually. Got a
There you go, guys.
very different call. Very
Tune in
different call.
live for Bench Talk and Bird Watching with Andy.
It's just nice. I'm very privileged to have this sort of thing in my environment, really, to be fair. Which, again, I don't take for granted, you know. I'm lucky. Really lucky. Really, really, really lucky. Getting back to what we was talking about. This is where you can get smart. You can get smart because if you think like that, then if you've got an opportunity to take advantage of a 1x, a 2x, 3x, like hopefully what we did last year, and at the beginning of this year, you can look at things and think, okay, is it worth liquidating? Can I liquidate? Will I get value? Now, that value might be just to some people, oh my God, yesterday it was worth £100. Today it's worth £200. So they're just looking at the £200. But the real value is, okay, if I do liquidate, what's my £200 worth to me? What is it worth to me? Exactly what you were saying a second ago. So, you know, if silver was to go to 140, £200, and there wasn't any great movement in inflation, in money debasement, and all that, then you've got a good opportunity to maybe make the most of liquidating that asset. You really have. But if you're not thinking about it in that way, you might miss the boat. You might think, oh shit, I'm going to wait until it goes higher and then it goes down. And you miss all of that possible
gain,
really. And the gain isn't just the monetary physicality. The gain is what you're going to do when you liquidate it. Is it worth it? And that's what I've often said. What are you going to liquidate it in, and what you're liquidating it into worth the value of doing so. I think that's so important, and that's another maybe. I found it. My family's found it very useful to do that. But that's purely because we're just looking at it far beyond the physicality of the money that or the currency we're liquidating it in, or the asset we're liquidating it into.
the amount of money that you have, that figure getting bigger and bigger, is only really of value to you if you can get what you need with it. So if you can't, because everything's more expensive when you come to liquidate your precious metals, then it's not worth it.
How many times you hear people turn around and say, I've got life-changing money? Okay, what does that mean? Okay, that means a very personal thing to someone, obviously. But if like, without getting too personal, what we're trying to do, my youngest boy, is build the asset base up enough so he can then afford property outright. I haven't hidden that. I've spoken about that before. That's another part of the family challenge we're trying to do. But again, like if we got to the stage where we could liquidate his portfolio, I would still be hesitant. My wife would tell me, "Oh God, it's worth $250,000 now." You know, yeah, look, whoa, get out. I say, hang on, yeah, okay. So how much time have we got to get it into a property that's going to be of value? What's the property market doing? Is that going to be sustainable for him? Is this a really good move? And so you have to think about things like that. It isn't just about, oh, I've got £250,000. It's what am I going to do with it, and how am I going to preserve that into another asset that's going to bring value. Now, some people will say, yeah, but you've got a house and mortgage free. Fine, that's really cool. And that makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. And that sort of thing will be taken into consideration. But what if he just wanted it as a rental? Is it a good time to get rental? Is there a possibility that house prices will come down 10%, 20%?
These are great questions that people should ask themselves if they're in the position where they're thinking about doing this. And who knows what will happen? I mean, you know, once again, by the time I look to liquidate, I probably won't be looking at pound notes. I'll be looking at a digital token and then deciding what can I do with that? Is it worth it? Am I going to be
Exactly.
losing my leverage outside of the system that I've got with the precious metals for this completely controlled token that's effectively not worth anything? It's just a number on a screen. Do I want to do that? Is it going to change my life? These are all questions to come. And yeah, until I get there, I don't know what I'll do. But it's good to be having these conversations now and kind of proactively thinking ahead as to what might be, what might I do, how might that plan out.
Mm. And the only interesting thing, Craven, is go back 10 years. I've never have thought like this. If I didn't get into Bitcoin, if through Bitcoin I didn't find gold, silver, find my stocks and shares that we invest in, look at money in a different way. If I had not done any of this, then I don't know. I wouldn't even be having this conversation now. I'd be just head up my ass doing the daily hamster wheel stuff. Talking bullshit whenever I'm talking bullshit with my friends in a pub or socially or whatever. It's an amazing journey to go on if you really want to learn something about one, yourself, one, your emotions, two, your fixation with money, and three, is there any possibility in doing something for yourself, self-sovereignty, and is it worth it? It's so many things that you can go on, and it's just that incredibly ongoing journey that is absolutely fantastic. A lot of people are scared to do it. I get that. They like the comfort of I'll leave that to the professionals. Fair enough. That's cool. That's great. You should do if that's your position that you think about. But one of the interesting thing is I remember watching a guy that I used to watch a hell of a lot at the beginning of my journey. And he used to say that a similar thing, you can do this on your own, You don't need so-called professionals. And I used to think, I don't know enough about them to do that. And it's all a bit of a scary thing, when you've been used to relying. Trust nobody, rely everything. Well, I didn't used to be like that once upon a time. I used to believe everything. Um, it's amazing when you actually find yourself going on that journey that you can in time, and it's all down to you getting off your ass and being bothered. It's amazing what you can do. You still need professional people. I need my accountant more than anything because they know I can tell more about accountancy than I ever will, but that's the world I live in with my business or whatever. But there's certain things you can do that you'll be amazed that you can be self-sufficient. You can have your own sovereignty if you can be bothered. It takes time. It takes time and effort and patience.
Yeah. And I relate this back to stacking, mate, in that we can watch content, we can watch guides, we can have conversations, and all of that is helpful to gain an understanding from different perspectives. But I still believe one of the best ways we can learn is through going out there and doing it ourselves and not being afraid to make mistakes, especially at the start. I made loads of mistakes and I'm honest about them on my channel. I'm not a perfect stacker. I've learned along the way, and those mistakes that I made are the most valuable learning curves because they taught me how to do something better next time. And then you keep making mistakes, keep getting better, and that comes with experience. And you do that for yourself. You can't go through life being told how to do everything. It just doesn't work like that. But you have to, with all things, not just stacking. I think you have to be willing to risk making mistakes, knowing that putting yourself out your comfort zone allows you to grow, and that'll get you where you need to go.
Yeah, 100%, man. And it's hard. It's one of the hardest, especially nowadays for a lot of people, me included, because time is of the essence. By the time you get home, I mean, today I've been very fortunate. But by the time you get home, if depending on what your position, you've got to cook tea, or you've got housework to do, or you've got this to do, or that to do. Give time to your wife, give time to your kids, young kids. You haven't got time for anything other than that. It's really hard, really hard, which is why it's important to maybe, if you're in a position, to step up a little bit and give something back if you've got that time.
It's funny you say that because I'm not going to lie, I didn't quite realise the time, Andy. My missus, my better half, is home shortly, and there are a few household chores that I really should do before she gets home. So I think I'm going to have to come off this shortly, mate. But I've really enjoyed this conversation. Where has the time gone?
Well, yeah, it was coming up to 3 hours in 1 minute time.
It's crazy. Where's that gone?
It's
Well,
crazy.
I'm glad that we did this on your channel though, as opposed to what we normally do, just have a chat offline. It's nice to do that and get some other people involved.
But it's an ironic thing, stupid thing for me to say, but we could have done this in a pub, spent 40 quid each, 80 quid, an ounce of silver each.
And we didn't. So there we go.
And I've got that 40 quid in my pocket, but I've still had a good conversation.
Yeah, I'd still put some value on joining you for a few pints sometime though, mate. Some things, memories are worth, they're invaluable.
100%, man. You can't get rid of again, it's a human thing. The physicality of being human. You get to read someone. You get to read. I said about the 8% bullshit. You get to read between the lines. You get to feel someone's energy. Sounds really pornographic. We're back on that again. But you know what I mean? You just pick up on, yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool. Yeah, this guy's a cool thing, or this lady's a cool. It's just general that human thing, that observation thing that you can't replace. And it doesn't matter how long this internet lasts for, you can't replace it, although it seems to be trying to.
That's it. Yeah, I think Jack Stacks has just got back as well, but I'm going to have to drop off this now.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But yeah.
So should I really. I should actually go and do something productive, I suppose, although there's not a lot to do. I'm cooking tea, but it won't be till 5 o'clock, and I've enjoyed it, dude. I'm glad you suggested it because it made sense, and I think it was I have no idea. I can't even remember what we talked about, but
everything.
Just a good natter, really. To be fair, and if anyone watches it back, thank you. But if they don't, that's fine. It doesn't matter. I've enjoyed it anyway. So.
Yeah, me too, mate. I'm glad we did this. It was fun. I'd happily do these types of things again. A little bit earlier in the day, not like a main headline thing on a weekend. It's really relaxed, and I enjoy these types of conversations. And thank you to everyone that's been part of it in the comments. And 12 likes as well for a spontaneous live. Very good. So thank you for everyone for being part of it.
Yeah. I just can't react much to that. It's been really good. Really enjoyed it. And it's gone overcast. Where's the blood sun gone?
I know, I was getting sunburn at the start of this conversation.
Right, dude, I'm going to go. Take good care of yourselves. Thank you, everyone that's contributed. And hopefully you've enjoyed the now. It's past the afternoon away. Very unproductive, but it's productive as well.
Yeah, 100%. Thank you very much for having me. I'll catch you all later.
Now I've got to work out how to turn this off.
There's a big cross at the top left of the screen.
I should turn it off there. Take good care, dude. I'll catch up with you soon. Remember, love is king. I know it's a stupid thing to say, but it's real.